Hello everyone, welcome. Today we are back in Need for Speed Underground 2. I do hope you are all having a very great day. We hope it is a very nice day for you. It's very rainy right now where I am. Very wet. So hopefully kind of get to dry off, get to enjoy some warmer climate, some fast cars and all that stuff in this game. Maybe, one can hope. And dive right into the Explore mode. Hopefully we can get this all decent progress made. I think. I'm hoping. Is this in the right aspect ratio? Give me 1 second. I think that's better. Alright, so the new ECUs came in. That's good. I think something wrong just happened. Hang on a second. I gotta make sure the settings are being very weird. This one. Video. Oh no, okay, widescreen is normal. Okay, that's fine. There we go. It's just during the loading screens, it just kind of looks a little bit funky. That's all. Okay, my apologies. Now we're good to go. Now we get to actually see, we get to take a look at those ECU tunes. But a few other things have been added to the body shop as well. So let's try to make our way back down the mountain. See if there's any events and stuff like that we can take down as we're making our way downtown. Walking fast, faces passing, we're homebound. There we go, that looks a lot better. Alright, there's probably something here. There's usually a hidden event. Or hidden something usually around this area. We got money. This area is always very pretty with all the palm trees and everything. It's just very high class and all that stuff. Very cool. I'm not seeing any hidden events here though. It's usually one of the spots that the game does have hidden events in. But nothing here for us just yet. There is a drift event just a ways away. And I think we can kind of completed the previous stage just a little bit too early. I kind of want to actually enjoy this game for a bit. And kind of enjoy the exploration side of things and do some of the races against the outrun races and stuff. So I'm gonna try to tackle some of those today too. Ooh, let's do it. Drift events. I'm gonna be sliding the car all around. Get to see exactly what we need to do. It'll be fun. It'll be very fun. This beautiful car, the beautiful 240SX. It's got just enough power now to kind of be fun, really fun to handle, really fun to drive. This is like right around when you begin to kind of get everything at level 1, is when the two Need for Speed games, the new two Need for Speed Underground games, begin to kind of come alive. And actually becomes really fun to play. Before that, it is a little bit of a slog. But once you get at least to the tier 1 upgrades, it is a lot better. Maybe. It's still a little bit sluggish in the drift sections, especially the tighter corners here. We need to gain a lot of points. Oh gosh, we're not doing all that well. I'm trying to get this all nice and slidey. There we go. We need to kind of increase the speed just a little bit. which is difficult to do on the tight hairpins. The car still doesn't quite have enough horsepower to really kind of keep the speed up through that section. Alright, thankfully it is beginning to rain. So that should allow us just a little bit more slipperiness through the spots where the track isn't quite covered. And kind of build some speed here, kind of fishtail the cart just a little bit. I noticed that the tracks themselves aren't nearly as slippery as they make them in the first Need for Speed Underground. That the tracks do have a bit more grip to them, so it's a bit harder to kind of slide your car and keep your speed up through the corners. It's hard to kind of get the car rotated. But once you do get it close to the 5 times multiplier, or the 4 times multiplier, it does get a little bit easier. It does get a little bit easier to get a little bit more points. Oh man, but we're gonna need those ECU tunes to get just a bit more power out of our car, I think. There we go. Very, very nice. Very, very good. There we go. Alright, what's next? What is next here? What else can we do? What else can we do? We probably have a few races before we can get to the tuning shop. That might be a good idea as well. Ooh. Latest headlight designs. Okay, so we got headlights, and we got headlight designs as well. So let's head to the body shop just up here to the right. Let's get those headlight designs. I think there's a couple other things. I think there's a couple other things we can get as well. Fairly close by. But I do know I want to begin kind of doing some of the outrun races to get some of those unique unique parts. Because that is how you get the unique parts in Need for Speed Underground 2, is by doing the outrun races and winning enough of them to impress the other drivers. With the car itself being... Yeah. Alright, so we have all of that knocked out. There's no new rear spoilers, no new hoods, roof scoops, headlights. Here we go. Ooh. We can go back to the pop-up headlights. Got projector, got apex, geyser, what's... Oh gosh, that looks hideous. That looks hideous. That looks okay though. Apex looks decent. Any new mirrors? Nope. Any new mufflers? Nope. Okay. Ooh. None of that. All right. Cool. So we got new headlights, just to make the car look just a little bit more unique, just a little bit more racy. I think it still looks okay. Our vehicle. Let's head now to the specialty shop, and then begin to make our way onto the highway so we can do some outrun races and get a few of those special events knocked out. Did you go to the highway, get a few outrun races knocked out, so we have a chance to unlock the events for the unique parts. So I want some of them do look pretty cool.
No wonder everyone wants a piece of your hype. Nice driving out there.
Oh, thank you.
Your ride on the case of the DVD Underground Speed Zone. To make them happy, you're gonna have to build your car up to 3 stars. Now you know what to do. I'll hit you up later.
Oh, cool. All right, so we need to build our vehicle up just a little bit more. We will be doing that just a little bit here. There is a sprint event right by the specialty shop as well. So let's get that knocked out. Hey there. All right, we got this. So we're gonna be racing right through Beacon Hill and a little bit of the city core as well. We should be having fun. We got this. We got this. Hey there, Shot Killer. Welcome to the stream. We're driving our beautiful 240SX in Need for Speed Underground 2. Thank you. It's coming together. It needs a little bit of work. We're hoping to, after this race, do some outrun races so we can unlock events for the unique parts. So that'll be where the vehicle kind of really begins to get a little bit better. Especially there's a unique hood that's really cool. Milo 240SX from Need for Speed games in real life. Yeah, the 240SX is a really cool car. Definitely quite like it. It's one of the vehicles I used quite a lot in my playthroughs of the Need for Speed Underground 2. That and the Hatchiroka, the two that I use the most frequently. Because both of them, you know, they're you don't really get a chance to use them too much in the first Need for Speed Underground, especially the Hatchiroka, because that's not in that game. But it is still a very nice car. But I decided to go with the 240SX with this one, just because I do think a lot of the upgrades look a little bit better on the 240SX than on the Hatchiroku. Oh yeah, and it's got the turbo sounds and everything. It sounds. They definitely did a really good job of the sound design in Underground 2, especially compared to Underground 1. Underground 1 wasn't bad, but Underground 2 really kind of improved upon it quite a bit with the vehicle sounds, especially as they get upgraded with the turbo blow-off valves and everything. They did a really good job of that. So some 240SXs have the SR20, but others have the KA series engine. And oh no! Oh no! Monica! All right, we lost that one. Yeah, a lot more of the American ones have the KA24DE, which is a similar engine to that used in the Nissan hardbody, if I remember correctly. Oh, it's used in one of the Nissan trucks. I forget which one. I think it's the hardbody. But that one has also become a slightly more popular engine in the tuning scene as well, because while it doesn't make a lot of power stock, a lot of people found out that it can handle a decent amount of boost, surprisingly enough. Yeah, we're up against the RX-8. It is very quick on that final straight. We have found out, so we kind of need to save just a little bit of nitrous through that section to make sure we can take our corners as fast as possible, because we are playing on hard mode, which does make the game actually hard, and not necessarily cheesy hard, but just hard. You're playing 200 guns as well. Yeah, it's very fun to play through. Definitely. I mean, to be fair, Hot Pursuit 2 all the way through Pro Street are just really good Need for Speed games. I enjoy playing pretty much all of them quite a bit. I replay them quite frequently. Very fun. My choice of the Miata. I mean, Miata is always the answer. Miata is a very good car. It's definitely one of the better vehicles to have in the first Underground. In that regards, because it is a very lightweight, short wheelbase car. They can get right at the start, and with the tight technical nature of a lot of the Need for Speed Underground 1 circuits, it does benefit the smaller, lighter cars a lot better than the larger, higher power cars. Better sounds. Underground 2 has better sounds, definitely, for the most part. Most of the cars definitely sound a lot more tuned, a lot more aggressive, and a little bit more distinct. Yeah, Riders on the Summer is a really good song as well. They did a really cool job with the remix and everything. And it was during a time when Snoop Dogg was like super popular as well. Very cool. Unfortunately, I can't play any of the licensed music on stream because you know, music companies get a bit angry, copyright and all that stuff. But I do have the Creative Commons Creative Commons music instead being played. Managed to win with our beautiful 240SX. And let's go see what upgrades we have available in the specialty shop. And I'm going to try to do a bit more outrun races to unlock some unique parts. Because I think it's like 1 or 2 unique parts per stage that you can unlock by beating enough of the outrun races. Plus it's a good way to make money too. Ooh, alright, we have an opportunity. Sweet. Alright, we have the opportunity to also do a magazine cover shoot as well. That's one of the things with the Need for Speed Underground 2 though. You play it, and as you're playing it, you're like, ooh, I could do this. But I could also do that. But I could do this too, that would be really cool. Oh, but I want to do that, that is fun too. But this is really close by. Alright, let's see. To the flames. There we go. Any custom neon? Nope, no new neon. Window tint. Nope, no new window tint. We do have new lights though. I'm gonna go with green. Oh, we don't have any of the wide body kits yet for the 240SX. Unfortunately, put on high jobs. And there we go. We can put on the trunk audio as well. Let's get some nitrous put in here. There we go. Yeah, the purple and green is very nice. Kind of nice, sort of a nice vibe, I think. It kind of goes with the vibrant, you know, neon lit city streets and everything like that. And purple. I mean, if you look at the hoodie, if you look at the background and everything like that, purple is definitely a very it's a color I do have a bit of an affinity with. And the Miata is a good car in this game. Miata is a very good car in this game. Very nice. Alright, let's see. Speed Zone DVD cover. Alright, we don't... So what we're gonna do is we are gonna first do some outrun races. Try to unlock some those unique upgrades, since we're right by the highway. And the highway is usually one of the better. So you gotta have the LS7 engine. So there is a company. So the Miata usually stock has the BP engine, is what the Miata has as the normal vehicle. But there are companies like the Flying Miata company that do offer LS swap kits that allow you to put in an LS series engine into your vehicle, which is very interesting. Those ones, because your vehicle itself, because it's an aluminum block versus an iron block for the LS versus the BP engine. Even though you're getting a much larger engine because it's made out of aluminum, it's actually a bit lighter compared to the BP series engine, which is all an iron block instead. So it's really cool how you can gain that much more power, but also make it lighter too. Very terrifying to drive, I'd imagine, though, with the sheer amount of power and making the vehicle weigh, you know, under 1,000 kilograms. Very terrifying, I would imagine. I definitely... Anyone who tries that has definitely need to have a very gentle touch on the foot to be able to get the most out of that vehicle without completely spinning or putting themselves into the wall. Yeah, we won the race. Let's try to get in a couple more outrun races now that we're on the highway. Wish there was more races on the highway in Underground 2. It's really, really cool kind of doing the loop around and everything. Very, very fun, very fast. But there isn't a whole lot of races on the highway. We got one here. We got the Supra.
Man, stop rolling around like you ain't got a clue. And
Oh, a little bit of Nitro. Little bit of Nitro. Please say. What am I supposed to say? Come on, we need a little bit more speed. There we go. Perfect.
Yo, come on, man. You actually think that was skill? My trannies
Yeah?
fought it on me.
Sure, lady. Sure. Alright, let's get another one.
Hey, look here. Another bam
Mhm.
ready to bankroll my night. Step up, boy.
Alright, let's do this. Let's get some more money. A little more speed. I like how in the rain as well, you can kind of see the green coloring on your lights as well. Really, really cool. The different color headlights. Very, very nice. Very, very cool. Alright, let's keep the speed up. Let's keep going. Oh, this one's tricky. He is fairly quick in a straight line. He's got that V6 Tiburon. The little Sharky Hyundai. And we're getting close to our maximum speed. We kind of need to make sure we use traffic to our advantage. Gain just a little bit more time, a little bit more distance. Come on. Come on. Oh, we're bouncing off our rev limiter. 160 is our maximum speed right now. The GTR, oh gosh. Yeah, the GTR has got the R35 has that VR38 jet. Very, very, very high powered engine. Very, very cool. Lot of power. And they've been using that for quite a while as well. It's an older engine, surprisingly. But they've done some incremental adjustments to it to kind of make it steadily make more power and keep the reliability. But I do think it is probably time to go on to the next generation of GTR with, you know, it was like a brand new vehicle back when I was, you know, in middle school, right? And I have graduated college. I am like, you know, a full-grown adult, and they're still making the R35. It's been a very, very long time since they've kind of done a major refresh on the R30 or on the GTR. Please say. Sure. There we go. Alright, let's get this spun around. Yeah, 160 is probably a maximum speed on this. So we only have the 5-speed transmission.
Well, what do we have here?
Alright, let's get some more nitrous. Let's get right into the slipstream. Let's draft them for a bit longer. Let's try to get just a bit more nitrous by doing that. Oh gosh, speed. Oh, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. Yeah, we're gonna lose. We're going the completely wrong way. That's $100 lost.
Yo, there was a couple of close calls, but hey, that's how the chips fall. See ya.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Please say NOS sound in the mouth. I don't know how to do that. It's about as close as you can get. It almost sounds like you're opening like a Coke bottle, or like a soda bottle. Hey there, Midnight. How you doing today? You still celebrating from the win for the Grizzlies side yesterday? That was really, really cool. I'm glad that you managed to watch them win live in person. That's really, really, really nice. Right now we're trying to get some more unique upgrades for our vehicle. Yeah, it's still really happy. I imagine that is, and it's always fun to have your favorite team win and everything. Very, very cool. Come on. I gotta steadily build up more nitrous. There we go. Full speed. Going to another Grizz game Tuesday. Oh, nice. Hope you have fun. Hopefully they win. Hopefully they win that day too. That'd be very, very nice. Oh, again, I hope it's closer. I hope there's a lot of action on the court. Close games. Close games are always really, really, really fun. Please make the turbocharger sound. Probably about as close as I can get. I am not necessarily a good voice actor for that type of stuff. Alright, here we go. Need to kind of maneuver through the traffic and hope for the best. There we go. Another victory. Another $100. Alright, let's see. We have a couple of special events. Hey there, Umbras. Oh, cool. Welcome. Yeah, we consider making a split channel for the Discord server this weekend. I'm gonna try to get that all set up probably sometime after this stream, I think. I need to make sure I get permissions and everything set up. Alright, so we have a special event there. There's 4 special events. One of them is probably the DVD cover. One of them is probably, at least 1 or 2 of them is magazine cover. And I think probably one of them may be the unique upgrades. But we're gonna try to do a few more outrun races just to make sure. And just to try to unlock as many of those unique upgrades as possible early on. Yeah, we're up to a fairly high amount of bank. This is usually what happens when you kind of plan out your.
Oh yeah, what do we have ourselves here? Looks like another take.
Shark, I apologize, but I don't do mobile games. I'm sorry. I really don't enjoy playing mobile games.
Future prediction. You ain't never
There we go.
again, so live it up.
Sweet. Okay, we got an option for unique rims. Yeah, that's the 240SX. I always thought the Honda Civic one of the favorite in the game. The Civic's a good card too. Although later on in the game, it definitely becomes a bit more difficult to use because the high power front-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive makes it a bit more difficult to launch with high power. So the rear-wheel drive definitely carries you a bit further in the game. Oh gosh, nope. Okay, we are going the exact wrong way. Yeah, we lost that one. Okay.
Is that it? I mean, that's the best you can do?
Have you played Drag Racing Classic on my phone? No, I like I said, I don't do mobile games. One, because my phone itself is very, very, very old, and 2, a lot of times the mobile games have like really, really bad monetization. So, I don't really play mobile games. Most of my gaming. Sad. Civic looks as good as similar to the first Fast and Furious. Oh, nice, with the all black and the neon. Very, very cool. Very, very nice. Yeah, the Civic itself is a really cool car. It's just that at very, very high power, if you don't have the proper tires and everything like that, and in this game, it's much more difficult to kind of launch in front-wheel drive vehicles. Front-wheel drive vehicles are definitely at a major disadvantage in the first 2 underground games. They have a little bit more power in Most Wanted, because with Most Wanted, nitrous not only increases your engine power temporarily, but it also increases your tire grip.
Oh, I got your number, dog. It won't be long.
It's a legendary mobile racing game. I mean, that's really, really cool, and I'm sure it's fun to play, but I'm not. I don't play mobile games. And it's one thing I kind of stay away from.
Lay it out and step on up.
Yeah, the R34 is very, very fast. with the RB 26 the RB engine. Dream is to see it in real life, but in Brazil it's very rare. Up here in the United States, the GTRs are very, very rare as well. Very, like the R32s are just slowly getting imported, but even then it's like a very, very, you need a lot of money to be able to purchase one of those. I'm talking like, you know, 5-6 figures sometimes for, depending on the condition of the vehicle. Very, very pricey for those cars. The only mobile race I like is most one at 2012. Oh no, it's a mobile race with that. I didn't know that. That's cool. But yeah, for me, it's basically if I'm gonna be sitting down and play a game, I'm just gonna be using a console, or at the very least like an actual handheld gaming, you know, an actual dedicated gaming, you know, handheld console as opposed to a phone. But there's, but with my phone is pretty much purely a work phone. It is basically, it's only for, you know, being contacted by, you know, other people in the company and everything. The YouTubers that have the R34 here, 3 here in the country. Oh, cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, the R34 is very, very nice. There's a couple here in this States, but it's a bit iffy with those because you need to be the vehicle here in the States. They need to be 25 years old to be legally imported. So basically, there's only like the super special editions that can kind of have like an exception made for them. But the standard R34s, I say standard, it's still very, very fast cars, but like, you know, like the non, you know, super special editions. You still need to wait a bit for them. Look at the Peugeot over there. There's 206. It's pretty bad here in Brazil. Do you have Peugeot in the States? Kind of. We had. There were a few. So Renault and Peugeot, both of them, we kind of had at times in the States, but not currently. Renault more so than Peugeot. During the 80s. Renault partnered with the American Motors Corporation, AMC, and you had some Renault cars being imported to the States, like the Renault like car, but they kind of garnered a very, very bad reputation because it was during like the early 80s when Renault was not really a, you know, was having some quality control issues.
Is your car strung out on nitrous or something?
So yeah, it's very. We kind of, some people know of Peugeot, but we don't really have Peugeot in the States, not anymore.
How you doing, boy? She let you out for the night, huh?
But yeah, no, Peugeot is definitely a brand that we don't quite have here. Fiat cars are afraid because the marketing is very demanding. Yeah, we do have Fiat here in the States. We have the little 500s. And the Fiat 124 Spiders that are based on the Miata. But we don't have but we don't really have Peugeot that much. We do have Fiat. The one usually we have Abarth more so than Fiat as well because Abarth is kind of seen as like a wealthy person's, you know, wealthy kind of compact car stuff. You know, for people that make quite a bit more money. But the regular Fiats, there's a few Fiat dealerships as well. Usually they're combined with Dodge and Chrysler dealerships because it was, at the time, all part of the Stellantis sub-brand and everything. So a lot of times, it's, you know, you have the Jeep, the Dodge, the Chrysler, and the Fiats all in one sort of mega dealership. And then they tried to bring Alfa Romeo here with the Giulietta. But yeah, that's been a bit iffy. I remember there being a Fiat dealer in the morning. It's gone now. Yeah, there's still 2 of them close to where I live because they're still with the Jeep dealership and everything, and they still sell. It's their lot is pretty much entirely the 124 and the Abarth version of the 124. right about now. And then basically the showroom, you know, the showroom queens to get people to kind of come in and test drive vehicles and actually, like, you know, get in and buy a regular vehicle. Probably got a brand new Nissan 186 246 in a car dealership in Tycoon Roblox. Oh, cool, nice. Yeah, I love the S chassis, the Nissan S chassis. Very, very cool cars. I love. Granted, the market isn't really there for them. The market isn't really there for them. Yeah, the market wasn't really didn't really want the Fiat too much. The Abarth cars though, the Abarth cars are still selling well though. Like the Abarth 124 and the Abarth 500 are both still sell quite a bit here in the States, because those are sort of designed as, like, you know, the hot hatch and the high performance sort of roadster vehicles. But yeah, next prize is the Super Mark 5 for 1,000 trophies. Oh, cool. Very, very nice. Fiat has been here in Brazil since 1976. With the Fiat 147, it was 100% alcohol-powered car. Oh, nice. Very, very cool. It's cool. It's cool hearing about some of the alternate fuel vehicles and everything. I know here in the States there was a big push to get a lot of vehicles running on the you know, ethanol, which is the corn-based alcohol, or at least with the flex fuel and stuff. So that was an interesting environmental policy, shall we say? Lama Mercy is 6,000. Oh my gosh, that sounds very, very, very grindy. You need 6,000 trophies just to unlock a Lamborghini. In my country, it is forbidden to have a diesel car because it pollutes more than gasoline. We do not allow alcohol cars to be flex. Interesting. So it's like it's pure like ethanol or some other alcohol-based fuel instead. Cool. Very, very cool. Here in the States, it's more like most of our gasoline is about anywhere from 10 to 30% ethanol. You can get pure ethanol as well, especially if you live closer to a racetrack, because a lot of racing vehicles, especially when you're going for the high power, for like drag racing and stuff like that, a lot of times they do ethanol, like full-on ethanol conversions on these vehicles, because ethanol burns a bit cooler, which allows you to make more power and use a bit more boost. So you can get pure ethanol in the States, but it's usually closer to, like, you know, closer to like drag strips and other like racing tracks and stuff. Flex car that can be fueled with gasoline and alcohol. Yeah, it's very, very cool. It's kind of designed to be able to be used on either of those, and it was like a big push to have a lot of those vehicles using flex fuels in like the early 2010s.
Serious driving, man.
Ah, cool. You got the car from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Very cool. All right, so I don't think we're gonna be able to unlock anything else. We still have plenty of outrun races to go. Call it the Opala. The Impala's cousin here is in Brazil called the Opala. I gotta look that up real quick. 1 second. The Opala. The Opala. Oh, okay. That is really cool. That actually looks very, very, very classy. It also reminds me a little bit of the Chevy, a little bit of like the Chevy 2, or something along that lines. But that is really, really cool. I don't think we have this one up in the States. The closest thing we have is the Chevy to Nova. Yeah, the closest thing we have is the Chevy 2. But yeah, with it being sort of a shorter based mid-size sort of two-door sedan type vehicle. Very, very nice. Very, very cool. If Supernatural happens here in the Brazilian lands, they use the Opala instead of the Impala.
Hey, yo, kid.
Oh yeah, that 67 Impala in Supernatural was very, very cool. Yeah, the Supernatural wasn't made there. It was sort of a purely US show. But still a very, very, it's still a really cool show though. You can definitely enjoy a lot of media made outside of like your home nation and everything like that. Like I watched a lot of like when I was in college, I watched a lot of like Japanese animated movies and stuff like that. Like Ghost in the Shell is one of my favorites that I watch all the time. The Ghost in the Shell animated movie, very, very cool. Do you Americans prefer a Ford or Chevrolet in your market? It's a bit of a rivalry. People that have the brand loyalty to those vehicles are very, very loyal to those brands. And there is a bit of a rivalry between people that like both.
Hey, yo, fool, that smackdown won't happen.
But I mean, they have about fairly close to equal market share, I'd imagine. There is quite a bit of different brands that are sold up here in the States, including a lot of Japanese imports. And Hyundai and Kia are beginning to kind of take over a good chunk of the market as well. Dream is to own a Dodge Ram. Yeah, there is plenty of Dodge Rams here in the States. Very, very popular car. Especially amongst a lot of like construction workers and blue collar workers and everything.
Hey, you better put up a decent fight.
There is definitely a lot of definitely a lot of trucks here in the States. So many trucks. You know the Ford GT? I am very familiar with the Ford GT. From the classic Le Mans winning, race car back in the 60s to the beautiful the recreation of that in the early 2000s to the modern V6 EcoBoost version. All of them are really, really cool. Very, very nice vehicles. Definitely like the Ford GT. Very cool car. Very expensive car though. Very, very, very pricey. Very difficult to get. Very exclusive vehicle. Please make the V8 sound. The mouth? I have no idea. Parents want to have a farm. That's why I need to buy the Dodge Ram. Ooh. Yeah, the Dodge Rams. I mean, most of the big trucks are kind of good workhorses and stuff. Very, very nice. This one lives in Florida. Oh, nice. Very, 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 very cool. I live quite a ways north of Florida, but Florida is really, really cool.
Track is toast, and you're the butter player.
Very, very cool. Do I know Mr. Car Sounds? I do not know Mr. Car Sounds. Oh, he's been to Disney. Oh, nice. Yeah, Disney is very, very. It's been a long time since I've been there. Yeah, it's been a very, very long time since I've last been to Disney. So these YouTubers make Car Sounds. Cool. I'll have to check them out. It's been a very, very long time since I've been to Disney. I think it was back in like 2010 was the last time I went there. But I've been to Florida quite a few times. Very, very cool. Very, very nice.
Just made their final edit, and you are in the next DVD.
You saving money to buy the Tacoma. Tacoma's a really good vehicle as well. Very, very nice. Definitely a good vehicle. Miyata-chan! Miyata. So fun fact, I want to give a little bit of a US driving lesson. You see the big blue interstate sign right there with the numbering? Really cool. Cool fact, with the numbering, if it's an odd number highway, it means it's running north and south. If it's an even number highway, it means that it is running east to west or west to east. And with that, so if you see like a highway 5 or highway 1, it's heading vertically. If you're looking at like a map of the states, but if it's highway like let's say 26 or 22 or something, then it's running like across the United States from like and then as you're going west to east, so from left to right, the numbers get higher. So for example, the highway in the interstate highway in Hawaii is Highway 1. The big famous one in California is Highway 5. But in the East Coast, we have Highway I-95, which is the one I drive on very frequently. Which is really cool. And then if you have the three numbers, so if it's let's say 405 or 895, it means it is a beltway, or it's like a stint that kind of goes off of the main highway. So for example, 895 is an interstate that kind of is a stint that goes off of I-95, which is really cool. Alright, let's take the picture there. There we go. And I said Florida had a lot of alligators. Yes, Florida has quite a bit of alligators. And there are some people that actually go alligator hunting, and they eat the meat of the alligators, which is really it's actually really tasty. Very alligator meat it's a bit expensive, but alligator meat is very tasty as well. And the people that go hunting like in the bayou and stuff, or in the Everglades or other sort of swamps, or kind of around like the American South. And it's just very cool. Please make the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder no come out. Like I said, I'm not necessarily good with these. But that's more Formula 1. About as close as I can get. It's pretty dreadful. I tried to roommates that lives in New York, but I decided one day to visit Los Angeles because of GTA 5, Miami because it's beautiful. And there's a lot of really cool American cities. Very cool. But if you're visiting the United States, if I may make a recommendation, I highly recommend visiting some of the national parks that we have. Definitely really cool as well. Because you get to see some really beautiful nature, different aspects of nature. Because of the U.S. is huge, so you get so many different biomes. You have anything from deserts to swamps to all of that, and it's just really cool. And it's very cool. Like if you no matter where you go in the United States, you can find, depending on where you go in the United States, you can find a whole bunch of different like biomes and stuff like that. Like if you're more western and central, you can find more deserts. If you're eastern, you can find more like swamps and everything. Very cool. First game I really got nostalgia and New Zealand Underground. The first time I played was this one back in 2011. Yeah, this game I actually this is actually how I got introduced to the Need for Speed franchise. Was a buddy of mine. I went over his house and he had this game, and he was showing it around and everything, and just the cool open world aspect of it was like, oh, it was super cool. So I went looking for like different Need for Speed games as well. And I think my first Need for Speed game was actually the first Underground. Because that was the one they had at the flea market, because I bought it used. Get out of my way. Really? Buddy. An audio that appears on a loading screen was never manufactured here. It is interesting being able to drive vehicles outside of, like, you know, that aren't part of the current market for your country as well. For example, like for me, it's being able to drive, you know, the Peugeot 206s, or the European version of the game, the PAL version, has the Vauxhall, the Opel Corsa, I think. It's either the Opel or the Vauxhall Corsa as one of the vehicles, as well as the Peugeot 106. And it's really cool. Yeah, they manufactured the Ford Maverick. Oh, the Ford Maverick was a really cool muscle car. And the Maverick is sort of a lesser known, for lack of better words, pony car here in the States. Very cool. Very nice. Very sweet. Very cool car. Alright, let's get this all nice and Maverick pickup is manufactured and comes from here. Yeah, it's very cool. A lot of fighting here. So he's better the Chevrolet Impala, the Ford Maverick. So it seems the more things the more things change, the more they stay the same. No matter what country you go to, there's always going to be that inter-brand rivalry between different companies. Like in Japan, it's the big rival between Honda and Toyota, as like the big Japanese brand, especially in like the Super Formula stuff. And there's a lot of fanboys in there. And then there's the Super GT racing. You add Nissan to the mix as well, where it's the Lexus or Toyota, Honda, and Nissan all fighting against each other. And in Australia, it was the Holden, now Chevrolet, versus Ford. And in Brazil, it's the Chevy and Ford as well. Really cool. I remember watching. It's difficult to watch, especially trying to get one of them in English. But watching the Brazilian stock cars and the Brazilian touring cars and stuff, and those are some really cool stuff. Especially once they got added into iRacing, I want to try to drive some of them virtually. Very cool looking vehicles. What has not manufactured a car in Brazil since 2021? Left in a financial crisis. That's unfortunate. I know that feeling. During the 08 financial crisis, a lot of companies pulled out of manufacturing in the States as well. So it definitely makes it very difficult at times. Raise your country's money. Oh, cool. Very cool. Have I played Mega Man? I have, when I was younger. I did not get very far into the game, but it was still a very fun game. It was a very difficult game, Mega Man. Those older Mega Man games. I haven't played any of the newer ones though. I've heard those are also still very difficult. But it's a really cool game, the Mega Man series. Ford was the first brand to arrive in my country in 1919, and then Chevrolet came in 1925. Oh, nice! So they had a very long sort of manufacturing history within the country. Very cool. It's hoping to make a bit of a return as well. So it wasn't too long after either of those companies really kind of got off the ground here in the States that they started producing cars in other countries as well. Really cool. Very nice. Tear the roof off and loud assault your eyes and ears. This is funny. I like just how cheesy some of the whatchamacallit, the magazine covers are. Very, very silly. We have Detroit, the city of automobiles, in Brazil, where they have Sao Bernardo do Campo. I'm probably butchering that. Sao Bernardo de Campo, which is the Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagens, and Scania. I've not heard of Scania. Hang on a second. Scania. Let me look that up. Scania. Oh, okay. Interesting. It looks very, very similar to the logo for Saab. I wonder if there's any relation to that. Scania AB is a major Swedish manufacturer headquarters in. So I'm gonna summon a demon if I try to say that. Focusing on commercial vehicles, especially heavy lorries, trucks, and buses. Also manufactures diesel engines for heavy vehicles as well as marine and general industrial applications. Oh, cool! Very, very cool. So it's a Swedish company that manufactures in Brazil. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Scania failed, in the United States. Oh, that's unfortunate though. And the Brazilian car market's really, really cool. One thing that I would love to have happen, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. But I think it would be really, really cool if, in terms of motorsports, we kind of different countries that are trying to kind of break into the different markets kind of did a almost like an event exchange program. I can't compete with Mack, International, and Kenworth. Yeah, those are sort of like the big three in the trucking industry. And the advanced cab trucks are prohibited here. So kind of they needed to have like the other style cab instead. Interesting. But I would love to see an event, because you guys have the Brazilian touring cars, or the Brazilian stock cars. I forget exactly what they're called. I think it's called Brazilian stock cars down there. And I know IndyCar is trying to kind of break back out into like the Central and South American markets. So it'd be really, really cool if they kind of did what they did with the Australian supercars back in the 90s and early 2000s, where let's say the IndyCars were a feature race for the Stock Car Brazil race at, like, let's say Interlagos or someplace like that, to really kind of get, the people hyped watching, the open wheel racing cars there. And then the Stock Car Brazils were like a feature race, or like a support race for an IndyCar race here in the States, so we can get to watch some more different types of like touring car racing here in the States. I think would be really, really, really cool. In my city, Santo Andre, in the 40s manufactured international trucks. Oh, nice. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Oh man, we are definitely losing a little bit to the Come on, gotta get up to speed very quickly and then just try to block and defend. And just hope we don't run out of top speed, because our cars kind of get a bit more towards acceleration. Which on one hand allows us to really launch off of the line. But on the downside, it means that it's going to be very, very difficult to kind of maintain first place on the highway with this long of a straightaway. Oh, okay, there we go. First place. That was a tricky one. That was a very tricky event. That Civic was very, very quick once it got up to speed. Very, very tricky. By the way, we had a hidden race. We got some extra monies. Very, very good. Very, very good. Very, very nice. The drag racing events in Need for Speed Underground all the way up through Most Wanted, very, very tricky, very, very difficult events. Especially if you weren't quite as familiar with the different latest rims, the different like styles of driving and everything. Very, very tricky. Very, very tricky. Let's get this street cross race knocked out. All right, here we go. Gotta do some sponsor events. Also, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Hope you enjoy yourself. Here in Brazil, the most popular cars, the Volkswagen cars. It was the Fusca. Oh, cool. Yeah, I remember reading about the Beetle and how even though it stopped sailing in the United States around the 80s, in Central and like the South American countries, it remained super popular to the point where it wasn't until like the early 2000s when it stopped being sold in a lot of like Southern and Central American countries, including like Brazil and Mexico and all those places. It's because it was a super lightweight, super fuel efficient, very kind of inexpensive. Yeah, in Mexico it's called like the Bocho. Papa Fernando. The Forza Horizon 5 kind of basically over obsessed about the Beetle, but the Beetle itself was just a very, very popular car in those countries just because of how reliable and fuel efficient it is. It's a very, very, very popular car there. Here in the States, there's an open world racing series. I'm not sure if it's elsewhere. I'm pretty sure it's probably elsewhere as well. But it's fairly popular here in the States as a grassroots style motorsports. There's basically you make an open world race car utilizing a lot of the parts from the Volkswagen Beetle, and it's called Formula V. Formula Victor Echo Echo is kind of how it's spelled. And it's basically, the suspension components and everything, an engine and transmission from like an old Volkswagen Beetle. And they race those in like SCCA and NASA racing events here. And it's really, really cool because the cars themselves are super lightweight. So you get some really, really close pack racing with the dangers and the maneuverability of an open world car as well, which is really, really cool to watch. I skipped the name of the Volkswagen Voltro because Forza Horizon 5. I call it the Fusca. Why is it called here in Brazil? I think it's probably just like nicknames and stuff like that for the vehicle that kind of caught on. And it's sort of how kind of people remember the vehicle. For example, in the Subaru 360, which is basically this. It's about as close as you can get to a Japanese Volkswagen Beetle, little air-cooled boxer engine compact car. In Japan, it was nicknamed the Lady Beetle or the Ladybug, and it was, it kind of marketing kind of began sort of playing into the very, very common naming of that, or the common sort of colloquialism of that, and then the name just kind of stuck on, kind of became like an officialized name. In Brazil, there's a Supra costing $1 million. Oh man, yeah, there's definitely the pricing of a lot of Japanese vehicles has gone through the roof, partially because of the big sort of JDM push and everything. Very, 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 very expensive vehicles now. A lot of them, even lower tiered like Japanese vehicles like the Miata. The Miata is even becoming very expensive as well. Very, very pricey. The Beetle became famous because of the Herbie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's ooh, that reminds me. Speaking of Beetles and racing, there's another in Europe. There is, oh gosh. Let's make sure we keep it strictly to the Beetles and not some other type of fun cup. But in Europe, they have kit cars that are based off of the Volkswagen Beetle, but with like wide bodies and everything. And it is very, it's based sort of like a support series for a lot of touring cars. And it's just very, very fun to watch these things go around because they don't make a whole lot of power, so they're able to run really close together. But they're very, because of the short wheelbase, they're able to really go around the corners super quick. But it's really cool. You know this video because of Grid Legends? Yeah. This is really fun to watch some of the races online and everything. So $1 is five Reyes. So 1 million Reyes, probably about $200,000 US dollars, which is about the price of. It's about the price of like a very top dollar Supra here in the States as well. So that's not too different. Popular vehicle, popular car here in Brazil is the Volkswagen Go. I know the Go. It's basically even smaller than the Polo. Very tight, very compact car. Yeah, it's basically like an even smaller Volkswagen Polo, basically, and it's really cool, really tiny car. But I've seen pictures of it and everything. Very lightweight, very compact, good sort of budget vehicle. Very nice. We need a bit more smaller vehicles here in the States. I think it'd be really cool to kind of have some more compact cars and stuff. We call it the Gol Quadrado, El Gol Bolinha. Okay. So I'm not sure. My apologies. I don't quite speak Portuguese. My Portuguese is very. I know a very small amount of Portuguese, and most of the time it's just because of cognate words. Yeah, other uncle has the Volkswagen Polo. Yeah, I'm a bit more familiar with the Volkswagen Polo because of a lot of like the rallycross and rally racing. The Volkswagen used the Polo quite a bit for those events back in the late 2010s. Oh my! All right, that Eclipse is going to be a very tricky one to beat. The Eclipse got pushed just along the side the entire way. The Polo from 2000, now we call the Polo Classic. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool. I need to really kind of focus now to get back in front of the Audi. The Audi is absolutely terrifying by getting that many points in such a short amount of time. Oh my god, to spin around. And in the USA they call it the Volkswagen Fox. But in Brazil they call it the Volkswagen Voyage. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the Fox. That's more so a very it's a car that it is sold in the States, but it's really not all that popular here in the States, the Volkswagen Fox. Outside manufactured in Sao Bernardo do Campo, it's sold in the United States. Oh, yeah, it's sold in the States, but it's not a very popular car. It's a very niche vehicle. Alright, I need to get a little bit more points here. There we go. That's better. Let's actually get through this now. Alright, gotta slide around these corners. Nice and easy. Ah, the combi bus. Yeah, here in the States, yeah, the T1 bus is usually called the combi bus here in the States, or the Samba bus is the two is the two sort of colloquialisms for the first generation bus, or occasionally it's called the hippie van. But that's usually more of a pejorative, a meaner word to call it. So usually it's more politely called the samba or the combi bus. Yeah, it's very stereotypically used by the hippies in the 60s and 70s. Just because it was, it's a vehicle that is smaller than an RV, but it's something that you can still, because a lot of them came with like a sleeping, as a camper van. So you can like pop up the top, and you can sleep up in there, like almost like as a tent on top of your vehicle. And they had like mini kitchens and everything, so they were really good for kind of traveling around and kind of being a bit more like as like a drifter and stuff. And it was sometimes used as like a cheaper means of like housing for people that didn't want to settle down anywhere. Like, yeah, it had let me showcase this. Like it had like a pop-up section that you can sleep in, and it had like full-on like seating arrangements. And it was just very popular amongst like people that were really very popular amongst people that kind of just toured around quite a bit. And granted, the ones that have the camper attachment now are very expensive. New Zealand Underground 2, there are 4 cars sold here sold here in Brazil. The Ford Focus, the Honda Civic, the Golf, and the 206. Nice. And the miniature of the combi bus. Oh, that's really cool. That is very cool. Yeah, here in the States, the vast majority of those cars were sold in the States, with the exception of the Peugeot. The Peugeot is definitely a bit more of a niche vehicle. So that definitely made it more of a vehicle that not a lot of people know too much. Yeah, they're fairly, with the exception of the Civic, because the Civic has still held its value reasonably well, depending on the model. Most of the other vehicles have definitely are fairly inexpensive for the starter cars. Okay, the front-wheel drive ones, for the most part, have gone down in value. The rear-wheel drive cars, the Miata, the 240SX, the Hachiroku, those have gone quite up in value, and even those are very expensive here in the States. Like a half-decent 240SX will set you back well over like $15,000 to sometimes $20,000 depending on condition. And even cheaper or more heavily damaged ones, those will set you back still a couple $1,000s as well. Because of what's known as, we kind of jokingly refer to that as the drift tax. And it's basically, a lot of people took those vehicles in the early to mid 2000s and sort of tore them up to use them for drifting. And then that kind of reduced the amounts that were available that, weren't heavily modified and stuff. So it made those ones very rare and made them a bit more desirable as well. So that increased the pricing. We had Mazda here in Brazil, but it was a sales failure. Mazda wanted it back, but gave up. It's unfortunate. They say 91 and 97 at Mazda Brazil. Oh, cool. Yeah, Mazda. To be fair, I think that was right around where the Japanese bubble economy kind of crashed. And so they did, the Mazda and a lot of other companies kind of pulled out of a lot of markets during that time period. During the mid to late 90s, going into the 2000s. And the Japanese recovery hasn't fully recovered too much. If they had a Mazda until today, would the Brazilians have the RX-8 on Brazilian streets? Maybe. I mean, the RX-8 was sold in the U.S. markets, and I'm imagining the road laws, or at least the laws regarding like vehicle safety and emissions and everything, probably weren't too different in Brazil. They didn't have, they didn't make one They didn't make one that ran on alcohol though, to my knowledge. So that may be an issue, depending on if at that time when the RX-8 first came out in the mid 2000s, if that would need if they needed to have one that ran on like ethanol and stuff, because that was one that the RX-8 I don't think ran on like ethanol or flex fuel. My cousin works at Chevrolet Brazil in Sano do Sul, and that is the 2003 Chevrolet Corsa. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's really cool because in Europe and a lot of other countries, it's usually sold as either the Vauxhall or the Opel Corsa. But it's cool to hear that in Brazil, it's just, sold as the Chevy Corsa. Very, very cool. Here in the States, we didn't get the Corsa. We didn't 100% get the Corsa, so we kind of got something that was similar to the Corsa. We got the Chevy Aveo, which is another sort of smaller, more compact hatchback Chevrolet. But we didn't really get too many of the actual Corsas. That was more so a vehicle that was a European vehicle. Opel sold it with the Chevrolet brand because it was from the same group. Yeah. Opel was also owned by GM. Plus it sold the Peugeot. Yeah, Opel I believe now is part of the Peugeot group instead of the GM group, I think. I'm not as up to date on the European side of the GM. Okay, in 2010. Very nice. All right, we're gonna be doing some circuit racing up here in the mountains. Gonna be channeling our initial D, our Takumi Fujiwara. Let's go. Full speed ahead. Get out of the way. Bye bye. Put that put that RSX into the wall. The DC5 Integra. Now we just need to get up with this. Looks like the Celica, I believe. Yeah, the Celica, the SS2 chassis Celica. Here in Brazil, the best-selling car is the Chevrolet Onix, a car named after the Pokemon. It's been on the market since 2012. Oh wow, that's a very long runner. Very cool. Yeah, Onix. Speaking of Pokemon, it's been a while since I played a Pokemon game. I think the last Pokemon game I played was Black and White. No, I played X and Y as well. I played X and Y as well. That was the last Pokemon game I played. Very cool. I remember being really into Pokemon as like a teenage during my teenage years. And it was fun. It was fun kind of battling with the DS and everything. It was fun battling other people or like on the bus while we were waiting, you know, while we were heading to school and everything. It was really fun. Oh, we need to gain some time. We need to go much faster. Come on. We got caught up in a couple accidents there. We need to get past this the RSX. There we go. Much better. Much better. Alright, gotta watch ourselves through here. Very tricky. A lot of twisty bits. And that Celica, the short wheelbase Celica, is actually doing surprisingly well. It definitely is a vehicle that is a bit better for the tighter technical sections. So we gotta make sure we really kind of push hard. Because in the black box games, it's usually the lighter, more nimble vehicles that are the ones the ones you gotta watch out for. The super high powered cars, more or less you can kind of outmaneuver them on the twisty bits. But if you're up against, like in Need for Speed Most Wanted, if you're up against the Lotus Elise, oh, you're gonna have a tough time. Or if you're up against the, you know, another sort of short wheelbase, very nimble, very lightweight car, you're gonna have a bad time. My other dreams, I had the Hyundai Tucson. Many women want to have an SUV. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the SUV is kind of seen as like a status symbol and stuff. Here in the States, SUVs are a lot more common, and the SUVs and the CUVs, the smaller SUVs, are fairly common here in the States. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I've driven a couple, but I usually like more lighter weight, smaller vehicles, because they're a bit more fun to drive. They're a bit more nimble. They're a bit more maneuverable. It doesn't feel like they're gonna tip over on you. SUVs really aren't all that worth the hype. Which cars are used more in the United States? Here in Brazil, it's the SUVs. I mean, SUVs in general are just very popular here in the States. I'm not a big fan of SUVs myself. It's a car to drive for people that hate driving, because everything just feels very dead. You barely feel anything on the road. You know, it feels very sluggish. It's not that fun. I'd much rather have a lighter weight like two-door like sports coupe or something like that than a big honking SUV. And the Ford Crown Victoria. So the reason you see it a lot in the American movies, one is, well, they are very common. And two, they're oftentimes sold as fleet vehicles. And basically with fleet vehicles, they're sold as bulk. So you buy, it's like, you know, you buy, as opposed to buying one water bottle from like a vending machine, you buy a big bulk pack of like, you know, 50 water bottles. And overall you spend a lot less money. So a lot of times fleets like taxis and the police and stuff like that would purchase a whole bunch of Ford Crown Victorias at once, which not only made them a very common sight in the American market and on American streets, but also when those companies then sold those vehicles and moved on to a different vehicle, those vehicles then kind of flooded the market and became very cheap vehicles for people to be able to kind of purchase. So they kind of gain a new life as like a standard passenger vehicle. So in that regard, it's why you see them quite a bit. Not only in real life, though less so now, because a lot of people have been kind of selling them and wrecking them and everything, and the price of the Crown Vic has kind of plummeted quite a bit. But also you see them quite a bit in movies because they're just very cheap cars for the you know, the movie producers to purchase in bulk, and then go, okay, let's just have a couple of traffic cars, you know, driving these, and then we can just scrap them without losing too much money at the end of it all. So it definitely helps with cost-cutting measures as well when you see them quite a bit in movies. In Brazil, we have 26 states plus the federal district. Oh, cool. The Distrito Federal Brasilia, and it's basically kind of like Washington, D.C., the capital of the country. Oh, very cool. Yeah, here in the States, we have 50 states, D.C., which is not a state, but it does kind of count towards the Electoral College. And then we have a few different U.S. territories as well, which is kind of interesting. The politics behind that. I'm not going to get too much into that because it's a little bit of a touchy subject, and a lot of people are a bit polarized on what we should do with regards to that. But yeah, it's very cool. Kind of the states, the union of states that kind of becoming a country. But it's also really cool because you get to see a vastly different array of cultures, even between like even neighboring states. With different food styles, different slang, all of that stuff, different like, you know, customs and everything. So it's almost like you're going to a slightly different country but where most of the rules are very, very similar, at least at a you know, a national level. And they speak the same language. But it's really, really cool. Like Maryland, my home state, is very, very different than Pennsylvania, which is just to the north of us, which is quite a bit different than Virginia as well. And it's really, really cool though, because when you can go on vacation in the States to pretty much anywhere else in the States and see a whole different, you know, different terrain, different types of people and everything. Very, very cool. City of Brasilia was designed and shaped like an airplane wing. And city, cool. Very, very cool. Shaped like an airplane wing. Very, very nice. It is interesting watching like a time lapse of like how different cities develop over time and the different changes and everything. Especially cities that grow really, really quickly. Like if you've ever watched like a satellite time lapse of like a city like Dubai being developed, it's really, really, really interesting seeing, you know, like the terraforming, the man-made islands and stuff. And then like the different buildings steadily kind of, you know, sprawling out from the city center. It's very, 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 very an interesting and a very enlightening watch to see that. Use the satellite modes on Google Maps. You can see the airplane wing shape. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'll have to. If I can win this race, I have to do that after this race. There we go. Gotta get around the tight, twisty bits. Oh man, this is gonna be a close race if I can't shake these guys. It's a very twisty section. Nice and easy. Oh boy, nice and easy, nice and easy. I just realized my game itself is actually a little bit on the quieter side. So I may need to increase that volume too. Alright, 2 more corners to go, 2 sweeping hairpins. Let's gain a little bit more time on the opponents coming out of this corner. Largest city is Sao Paulo with 12 million people. Oh wow, that's a lot of people. And its neighborhoods that have population for Japan, Colombia, Northeastern. Very, very cool. And that is very, very, very cool. It'd be cool to visit some of the like different South American countries as well, like Brazil and all that stuff. Very, very cool. I'd love to. It'd be cool to watch like the Brazilian Grand Prix, heading down there and see the Interlagos track in person. That is one of my favorites. One of my favorite of the Formula One tracks. It's up there alongside up there alongside like Sepang and Suzuka as well. Really, really cool tracks. Hey there, Sprockets. My day's going pretty good. Hopefully your day is going quite well as well. Very, very nice to see you in the stream today. Welcome. Alright, so I wanna pull up the Google Maps real quick. I wanna make sure I don't dox myself as well, so give me 1 second. What is the country? Distrito Federal. Alright, let's open this up. Alright. Distrito Federal. Alright, so that is quite see. North wing. Yeah, I can see it. You can kind of see like the wing a little bit right alongside here. That's really cool. It's just in a very kind of tight, almost like grid-like shape. Oh wow. Everything's like super symmetric as well. That's cool. That is very, very cool. The singular logo is really funny right now. Yeah, it is. Very, 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 very funny. Very, very funny to see. Because singular went under quite not too long. Not too long afterwards. By the way, have you been tuning my cars, sir? I have been making sure I've been tuning
Big guns from
tuning my vehicle,
TI magazine.
making sure I've been doing lots of upgrades and everything. Welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. Shans, I think is how you pronounce it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, right now our car itself has been reasonably tuned. Everything's up within like the first level of tuning. Very, very nice, very agile. And we've been doing some of the settings as well with the vehicle. It's a planned city. Everything was designed by Oscar that guy. 1953 and was completed in 1956. Oh, cool. Very, very cool. My apologies. I am very, very bad at pronouncing names. So if I am mispronouncing it, if any type of names, just please give me a pronunciation guide so I don't so I don't accidentally summon a demon with my poor pronunciation. This has been a busy chat, but it's been fun. I'm enjoying talking with all you guys. It's really cool. Really kind of relax and chill. Very fun. As we're also kind of making our way through the career mode of Need for Speed Underground 2. Very nice. We have another time trial, another event up here. I'm not sure if this will be for the wheels or if this will be for the magazine cover. Enjoy, bro. Thanks. That pronunciation guide would be useful for NBA players as well. Yes. Oh my gosh. Very. Just names in general. And this is from someone who, in real life, has a fairly difficult to pronounce last name. So I can understand the frustration of not having your name pronounced correctly. But at the same time, there's definitely some where I'm like, oh gosh, I have no idea even where to begin. So it's very interesting seeing, you know, like how names get pronounced and stuff like that. For example, Sebastian Vettel, when he first debuted in Formula 1, the announcers kept calling him Sebastian Vettel. Like they put like a super high emphasis on the T's, the two T's. But it's like, no, it's eventually had to kind of correct them during an interview. It's like, no, it's Vettel. it's you know, it needs to kind of roll off the tongue. And there were 4 trucks there, put on Brasilia. Thanks to the help of the. Oh, you're welcome. I mean, I took no part in that. That was definitely way before I was even born. I'm not quite that old. I'm old, but not quite that old. But it is cool, kind of, you know, seeing like the different effects different countries kind of play in the development of other countries as well. Very interesting. Seeing sort of like the what happens when they collaborate and stuff. And Brazil is we're the only ones that had the Volkswagen truck. Yeah, that's mainly due to a lot of foreign trucks, especially up until even through the 80s. There was what's known as the chicken tax, or the chicken tariffs, and basically a lot of European countries put a tariff on U.S. produced chicken meat. And so in return, the U.S. put a tariff on foreign-produced trucks. So for a while, a lot of foreign trucks and a lot of foreign vans and everything could not be sold to the United States without a heavy tax on them, making them prohibitively expensive. Which is really funny. Well, not necessarily funny, but very interesting how that kind of plays into each other. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh gosh. Antetokounmpo. That is a hard one to pronounce. Hang on a sec. I need to go to pronounce names for that one. Yeah, we're gonna definitely go with the engine upgrade. Just give me 1 second. I wanna see how exactly to pronounce this one. Antetokounmpo. Anti-Tacompo. Okay, that's how. Anti-Tacompo. Cool. Okay, I learn something new every day. Very, very nice. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get the engine upgrade, get a little bit more power, more speed. There's a Volkswagen truck called the SpongeBob. Giannis Anticompo. Cool. Anticompo. Is it a double O as like a hard O, like boom? And while we're here, we may as well.
Whoa, is that what I think it is? You obviously nailed them out there to be getting access to parts.
We may as well get our ECU upgrade as well while we can. The name of the truck is the Volkswagen Console. Okay, so it is pronounced like boom. Okay, cool.
Hey, swap out stock parts with after. You can change the timing of your
Very,
engine
very
by
cool.
upgrading
Very
the
cool.
ECU and boosting more ponies from it.
Alright, let's get a little bit more
Tighten your
more
gearbox and
upgrades
shorten
here. I
your
don't think we've unlocked any other
control back into your
tuning
That just has
upgrades
some power
here.
stuffed in-
I think we've just unlocked level 2 ECUs.
Now, bigger is better.
Yeah.
Break the barriers of top speed.
Poor Rachel, she just keeps getting interrupted.
On a turbo.
Volkswagen Constellation. That's a cool name though, the Volkswagen Constellation. Very, very nice. Very kind of, you know, sort of kind of relaxing, very cool. Alright, let's do some adjustments here.
The dyno and test track will help you do that.
Alright, let's tune the settings, let's adjust the drivetrain.
Be coming at you strong.
Let's dial back towards top speed a little bit.
Modify your
And the first time I thought that was pronounced Janice, until I heard it get pronounced. Yeah, it's very, very interesting hearing like the different names get pronounced and everything. Very, very cool. Alright, let's get the ECU tune here.
Regulates air and fuel mixtures to your engine timing. Remapping the ECU gives you the ability to fine-tune engine power.
There we go.
You're in the right place
There's a
now,
turbo.
bro.
Very,
Turbos
very
pump
nice.
more air into your engine.
Alright, let's do the dyno round. Let's see how much power we're making now.
So get crazy.
Here in Brazil in the 80s, Ford and Volkswagen came to share an engine project called the Auto Latina. Auto Latina. Oh, cool! I've heard of that one. Yeah, it's really, really cool to hear about the different times, like different automakers. The different automakers kind of collaborate and seeing what they can build. For example, like the Toyota 2000 GT was built with help from Yamaha. You had the you know, of course you have the Supra and BMW Z4 being built on a similar chassis. The Miata and the Fiat 124 being built with similar chassis. You have the Sai Toyo Baru. Kennard is pronounced Kennard. Oh, cool. Better fool the 0, 2 and 3 make it empty. Really? Okay. I definitely want to get some fairly high RPM power though. Oh, Kennard. Sorry, Kennard. Sorry about that. Let's do some of the dyno runs here. Let's see how that affects it. Alright, so you better 0 to 60 there. That's good. Okay, cool. Cars that are bought with the use of the Auto Latina were the Ford Verona, the Volkswagen Apollo, the Volkswagen Pointer, and the Ford Escort. Here in the states, we got the Ford Escort, but the other ones I don't think we had. The other ones I don't think we had here in the states. Let's do the circuit mode. Tune the settings. Adjust the suspension just a little bit.
Controls how your ride reacts to changes in terrain and sideways forces like cornering. The suspension components work like a team.
All right, let's do some adjustments here. Stiffen up the rear just a tad.
Then your shocks, followed by your springs.
And then we want to get this a bit more towards the acceleration side of things. There we go. Let's increase the front arrow. Decrease the rear arrow just a little bit. go.
Grip and stopping power can be gauged
Very,
by
very
the
nice.
tires and brakes. So the better the rubber, the more performance you'll get when bending them curves. Now when it comes to
All right, and then we're gonna fully go to street cross,
but they also help in handling when you're cutting through them
and we're gonna be super lowering this because this is gonna be as stiff as possible. Get the car all nice and stiffened up. I guess I forgot the Volkswagen Lucas. Yeah, we didn't quite get that one in the States either. But that's still a really cool car. All right, let's go full aero. Probably rear, make the bias just a little bit rearwards. That's good, there we go. And then finally, yeah, let's change that. URL race. Between the settings, suspension, we're gonna be lowering this just a little bit. What here in Brazil has the Hummer H2. That is a really, really cool car. I mean, kind of. It's definitely a very, very kind of status symbol vehicle and everything. But it is cool to see. Though it has lost a little bit of its prestige, especially during the financial crisis. I thought it's just one tuning were active. Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I just want to make sure we get the suspension set up different for different types of events. I want to reduce the aero drag of the vehicle during the high speed section, so we can get a little bit more acceleration. So that way we can adjust the gears towards more top speed without losing our acceleration too much. Which will allow us to kind of reach those higher speeds without breaking the engine. I think that'd be very, very nice. Okay. But yeah, okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Now let's try to enter a few more races close to us, or if we have another special event, let's try to take one of those out. My family on my mother's side, the dominant car brands of the Volkswagen, yeah. And my family a big like GM. My family, because my dad, you know, a couple relatives worked in some of the manufacturing, the Baltimore GM manufacturing plants during the 80s, the 70s and 80s. So my family's a big sort of big GM family. Let's see. Okay, cool. I know exactly where I need to go. Let's roll. Full speed ahead. But yeah, it's interesting seeing like the family kind of gravitate towards, you know, one or two sort of particular brands of vehicles. For example, my in-laws, you know, when they came to the States, they really latched on to a lot of like the Toyota brands and stuff. And even nowadays, they're very, very, you know, their driveway, you know, it's filled with, you know, they got the minivan, the Toyota Sienna, and then it's just filled with nothing but Corollas as like the main vehicle. We took the wrong entrance. That's fine. Let's readjust ourselves. Got it. Okay, cool. We can still make it there in time to get onto the magazine cover. My parents' there's a Chevrolet and Volkswagen. It's Chevrolet and Volkswagen only. It's still really, really cool though. Still really, really, really cool kind of seeing like the different vehicles, you know, the family decides to go with. There we go. On the cover of the magazine. Very nice. 3 Volkswagen Golfs, 3 Fiat Palette, 3 Fiat Palios. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Oh, they got the purple car on the purple cover. Very, very cool, actually. And of course, you have the extra like sex appeal of putting a woman on the front as well. Because how else do you sell more magazines? That has the Volkswagen Gol, and Uncle has the Chevrolet Prisma. Prisma. What is the Prisma? I'm not as familiar with the Prisma. Chevrolet Prisma. Oh, the Prisma. Okay. What was that called in the States? We had that in the States. I think this actually is the Chevy Aveo. Maybe. Not to confuse the Chevy Prism. Okay. Play Onyx. Yeah, okay. Maybe we didn't quite have these in the States. But still really cool cars. Still really cool. Nice. All right, we have another star event up here. Let's attack it. Let's see what. Oh gosh. Oh, there goes our 240SX.
Got any details on the rumors of racing in the Beacon Hill area? I hear it's a bunch of newbies with more bank than brains. Should be easy.
All right, here we go.
If you're near, can you check it out and let me know?
All right, we need to go down and across to get those rims. Let's get these custom rims. Full speed ahead. Full nitrous. Let's do some of these events to get all these beautiful parts. We're making over almost 300 horsepower now, which is a very respectable amount of power compared to the 150 that we were making earlier in the game. We're making a decent amount. Very nice. My friend Chevrolet Prism was uses an Uber car. Cool. Yeah, we have Uber. Uber is very popular here in the States, especially in more like urban areas, or in more dare I say party cities where people are going to be out, you know, consuming beverages of the alcoholic variety. So a lot of times people call Ubers to kind of take them home safely, so they don't need to worry about, you know, taking their car to the bar and then, you know, leaving it there or what have you. Oh gosh, a lot of these are kind of ugly actually. A lot of these do not look that great. Oh. Ew. That's probably the least horrible one, I think. That's definitely an iffy look. Yeah, this is probably the best one. Oh, in the United States, there's the Chevy Opala. They were imported by the U.S. Brazilians to live there. Oh, cool! Very cool. And so it's really cool seeing like the different automotive markets as well, because you know you have different cultures, different sort of infrastructures as well. So people,
Man, you must be doing something right, 'cause scoring
seeing the different, you know, how people kind of,
apart like
you know, how people kind of affect the markets and everything like that. How automakers and other companies kind of respond to those markets. It's really cool to see. Very cool to see. All right, so we did a lot of those. Specialty events and time trials. We got lots of money. So now let's go do some street cross racing. There's a version of the Chevy Opel Commodore and Diplomata. Trust me, Diplomata version is better. It has six cups. Six cups. Cool. Very cool. I do like driving in the different, like the Beacon Hills area and everything. Like this city is very pretty. Bayview is very cool to look at. Very nice. There we go. Hi there. Yes. Some tight street cross. We get to see exactly how well our new suspension mods, our new suspension adjustments will do. This would be very nice. All right, let's make sure we absolutely tear up this track. All right, up against a GTO, a Supra, and a Miata. The Miata is going to be the only one that's going to actually be able to challenge us. The Supra and the GTO are both kind of sluggish on the turns. Very, very heavy vehicles. So we just got to make sure we kind of outmaneuver them on this tight right hairpin here. There we go. Goodbye. Yeah, all that LS power is definitely not going to be beneficial to you. If you cannot take a corner. Nope, no way. This Street Cross is the event for tight, very, very nimble cars. In Brazil, there's a Silvia S15 with a Corvette engine. 50% Japanese and 50% American. It reminds me a little bit of the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Where they swapped the SR20 engine from the S15 Silvia into the Mustang chassis. Which that in itself is really, really cool to see as well. It's kind of like the opposite end of, you know, kind of putting the big beefy American engine in a tight, you know, lightweight Japanese chassis. Instead, it's putting the nimble Japanese engine to kind of lighten up an American chassis instead. Very, very cool. The engine swaps in general, it's really, really cool seeing some of the creativity with the engine swaps, seeing what you can do with them. You're gonna buy the Silvia S14 with the Viper engine. Oh man, that's gonna be expensive. The Viper engines in general are very, very, very pricey. But they make a lot of power though. But they are very, very expensive though. So you got to be careful with those. But yeah, there is plenty of different swapped S14s here in the States. Anything from swapping, you know, the 2JZ, the Super engine in, to the LS, you know, the Corvette and Camaro engines and all that stuff. The S chassis cars are very, very popular sort of cars to do that in. Although the pricing of those cars is getting very, very expensive. There we go. Nice, easy victory. Very, very good. Very, very cool. There we go. Sweet. Here we can bring cars, only bring cars that are over 30 years old. Oh, geez. So you guys have even more. You guys have even more strict import regulations than us in the States. Here in the States, it's only 25 years to bring in certain foreign vehicles that weren't designed for U.S. markets. Jeez, 30 years. That is a very, very, very long time. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Oof, that is definitely very rough. We're gonna be doing some more Street Cross. Street Cross is one of my favorite events in the game. I enjoy the tight, the nimble, like slot car nature, especially once you like really upgrade your vehicle a lot more. It's just very, very quick around the corners. Very, very cool. Just seeing the car absolutely tear up the track. Very, very fun. Here we go. Round and round we go. Nice and easy round of turns. And it is cool also how they reuse the drift track layouts from the first Need for Speed Underground as the Street Cross tracks. It definitely is a very good sort of reuse of assets and reuse sort of meshes and everything that allows them to kind of add more content without like spending a whole bunch of time creating new content as well. Very, very cool. They did a good job with this. I would love to see events like Street Cross kind of come back in later Need for Speed games, but they need to improve the handling first to make them actually fun to do. Have you seen a Toyota Hilux in the US? So we didn't quite get the Hilux. The Tacoma is probably the closest thing. And the Tacoma itself also has sort of a reputation of being a very, very durable truck. But we didn't really get too many of the Hiluxes. During the 80s, we kind of got something similar, but we didn't really get a whole lot of the modern Hiluxes. But I remember seeing the Top Gear episode where they were trying to destroy it, and they did everything. They drowned it, they burnt it, they dropped it from a building being demolished. they hit it with a wrecking ball, and it still kept kicking that Toyota Hilux. That is a really cool vehicle. I'm not much into trucks and the big off-roaders and everything, but if I could own like a vehicle like that, I would love to have a Hilux myself and just kind of modify it and just see exactly how cool of an off-roader I could build with one of those. And it didn't comply with the American environmental norms, and also, again, it had the foreign truck tariffs, which made it a little bit more difficult, more expensive as well to import in the States. But there is some vehicles and stuff that are importing some of the slower some of the older Toyota Hiluxes now and turning them into like off-road trucks and everything like that. And it's really cool seeing them at like different car shows as well. Ooh, new neon colors. All right, so we're gonna have to kind of do a little bit of a loop, get some of those custom neons. All right, let's go in through here. There we go. There's a street cross race right in the drive-thru of the Burger King TM. Oh, the product placement in this game. Oh my gosh. Granted, on one hand, it makes sense because it is, you know, a city. It is going to have things like Burger Kings and Best Buys and all that stuff. But on the other hand, it is a little bit blatant, where it's like, you know, 100%, you know, like the billboards are like absolutely everywhere. But it's not too noticeable though. In Brazil, there is an eclipse from Brian from the first Fast and Furious that's been running. Yeah, Burger King is a global chain fast food restaurant. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of fast food in general. But Burger King is okay. Usually though, if I'm gonna be having burgers, I usually prefer to actually cook them myself on the grill, because then you get to kind of choose what's all in the meat. You know, you get the ground beef or the ground turkey, and you mix in stuff like, you know, diced up jalapenos and different seasonings and everything, and you get to put them on the grill. And it tastes so much better than trying to just get a fast food burger. I prefer McDonald's. McDonald's okay. I do like one thing I wish for fast food restaurants, because I don't eat too much fast food. What I would definitely purchase from a fast food restaurant is if fast food restaurants sold like big containers of their sauces. Just, you can go in, there's like a counter, and you can purchase just like a big like tub of like, let's say McDonald's sweet and sour sauce, or like the Chick-fil-A, you know, Polynesian. I mean, to be fair, Chick-fil-A did start doing that with like some of their sauces, which is cool. But I want to be able to purchase, you know, the sauces, just the sauces from the restaurant, or like at the grocery store, so I can use that when I make my own stuff, instead of having to purchase fast food just to get the sauces with it. Like I would definitely purchase quite a bit of that, because when I grill chicken, I use one of the ingredients for the marinade for the chicken is a little bit of the McDonald's sweet and sour sauce, as well as a bit of lemon juice, and a little bit of, those are two sort of main ingredients, and then a little bit of curry powder, and a little bit of cayenne pepper, and I mix that all up, let it marinate for about 24 hours in the fridge, and then I grill the chicken breast, and it's really good. Tastes delicious. I'm hungry. It's not warm enough to grill it just yet, but I want to begin grilling. There's a Brazilian who lives in the United States, has the R35 delivery walk kit with the sticker from the Fast and Furious. Oh, very cool. He calls it the Greg Ferreira. Cool. Very nice. Let's get a bit more upgrades. There we go. Alright, we found that. That's all been unlocked. Nothing else there. Nothing else there. Okay, cool. Yeah, no other upgrades. Let's save. We got a little bit more power, a little bit more performance. It's not until you get to the tier 3 upgrades where the car really becomes like terrifyingly fast. But I mean, it is still very nice right now to drive. Very fun to drive. It's sporty enough to kind of, you know, keep you on your toes, but not to the point where it's like obnoxiously so. Very nice. Oh, crickly crackly. I had an accident with this car, but he and the car are fine except for the... Oh gosh, the Tesla Model X was split in half. That's... Jeez, that is terrifying. So it must have been like a heavy like T-bone hit then. That's rough. Hopefully the driver of the Tesla is also okay. He needs to be a fairly heavy, fairly hard hit to split a vehicle in half like that. All right, let's get a few more upgrades to this vehicle. We have the neon upgrades at the specialty shop that we're heading to, and then we need to get some more body mods to really kind of make this car about as gaudy and as early 2000s style as possible. we gotta try to make this look very nice. We're gonna try to make this car look half decent if we can. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, but we can try.
Hey, accessorize your ride with style and turn some heads when you race by upgrading your car's
Neon,
plus
here we
audio
go.
right here.
I got bright yellow neon. Let's go with the lime neon. Very similar to the previous neon, but a little bit brighter. We're almost up to 4 stars. Very cool. And then we have quite a bit of body mods that we can install on our vehicle. It's gonna be very fun. Very nice. All right. Alright, now we just need to head now to the body shop. And then I can begin entering some more races until we unlock some more things. Kind of getting into the rhythm of the game. There's another circuit race right by the body mod shop as well, which is very nice. So we can enter that after the body, do some body upgrades. Wonder how many. Oh gosh, we unlocked 3 URL races already. Whoopsie daisies. We haven't really been doing a whole lot of the URL races. We've been doing mostly a lot of like the stuff up in like the Jackson Heights and Beacon Hill. So we haven't really gotten a chance to do a whole lot of those other races. Have you seen the list of the dream cars? I have not seen the list of the dream cars. What is on your list for those cars? For me, the list of dream cars definitely changes quite a bit every single day. Very different. Okay, well this isn't really all that different here. So we're gonna keep that. Ooh, we got carbon spoilers. There's a slight graphical bug when in the carbon fiber section. Let's get the carbon fiber ripper. You got the 2 GTR R34, the Brian and Eddie one. Very cool. Very cool. And you had the Camaro, the 50Z, the Rachel 50Z as well. Very nice. What generation Camaro would you say is your favorite? That's 420. Yeah, nice. And that's 419. Okay, so we want the 420. That's why the body kits in this game are the most abhorrent pieces of garbage. Yeah, it's a little bit ugly on some of them. Oh gosh, we just gotta try and hope for something that doesn't look absolutely horrific. The Evo X and the Evo 9, very, very cool. Yeah, Sean's Evo 9. Very, 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 very nice cars. There's a lot of people that do like the tribute liveries and the tribute body kits and everything like that to those cars. And it's cool seeing them every once in a while popping up at like a car meet and everything. Because you know they put like a lot of time, a lot of detail into making them, you know, like as close as possible to the movie or the TV show version. Oh, and that right at the very end, the Lamborghini Huracan. The Huracan is really cool. Very, very, very cool cars. Yeah,
The director for Underground Speed Zone is here, catching film for the next evening.
yeah, there is.
For winners. Put it down out there.
Yeah, some of the stuff doesn't look too bad, but the mirrors, the roof scoops, and the spinners all look pretty dreadful, I think. So some of the hoods, some of the front side skirts and rear bumpers, they look okay, if a little bit dated, and some of the spoilers look decent. But there's definitely a lot of stuff that is not that great, I think. Alright, come on, give me some speed. Give me some speed through here. Oh yeah, the McLaren Senna is a really cool car as well. Just the sheer amount of aero downforce that car can produce. Very, very cool car. Very, very rare car. Very expensive car as well. I'm not... I don't see too many McLarens. Very, very rarely do I occasionally see one on the highway or around like the richer areas of Baltimore. And usually it's either the 650S or the 720S. Great stream today. Keep it up. Thank you, Jesus. I appreciate it. I am glad you were enjoying. Glad you're enjoying the streams. I'll be continuing this for a little bit longer, probably up until like 6-ish on Eastern time. So probably another hour or so. I think I'm enjoying driving this car. Enjoying kind of having this, you know, having these conversations as well. Very, very fun. And you want to have the chem blocks to the Subaru Impreza, have a tribute to the chem block himself. Very, very cool. With all the Monster Energy graphics and everything. Yeah, that would be very, very cool to kind of have a kind of a tribute vehicle, or like a tribute car show. I think would be really, really cool. You know, having Subarus, you know, the Ford Focuses, and all that stuff, and it's so basically limited to vehicles or limited to brands that he you know was partnered with. So Subaru, Ford, Audi, and Porsche. I think would be really, really cool. Having people doing like tribute liveries and stuff like that, I think would be very, very nice. Alright, we have a decent lead right now. We're a little over a second ahead. Some of these circuit tracks though are very, very tricky. They do have some very tight, very technical corners. It is a little bit more difficult to kind of navigate smoothly compared to Need for Speed Underground 1s. Because they do need to kind of build it almost more like an actual city. And that does make racing a little bit more challenging at points. Yeah, rest in peace. It was very, very shocking. Very, very shocking to kind of see the news. I just finished. I remember I just finished a stream, and I went to kind of Twitter, and I saw Ken Block was trending, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's probably doing another Gymkhana thing or whatever. And I didn't think anything of it. And then, I kind of checked later, and the Ken Block trending changed to Rip Ken Block, and I'm like, wait, no, you're joking. And I checked, and I got got the confirmation, and it was, I was just shocked more than anything else. I didn't quite know what to say or what to do, and I was like, oh wow. I do hope his family is at least at peace and everything with all that happened, and they're able to have some privacy and time to kind of deal with all of that. once went into a depression when Ken Block died. Second video I watched on YouTube was the Ken Block in 2015. Yeah, it's very, very difficult when, like, you know, like a hero, you know, someone you look up to quite a bit, you know, passes, what have you. I was like that a lot back in like the early 2000s, 2001. Back then I was really into NASCAR and everything, and Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Sr. were like my two favorite drivers. And when I watching, you know, what the 2001 Daytona 500 when Dale Earnhardt Sr. Died in a crash, it was very very sad. And for a while I really didn't want to watch any racing and everything. And it took me a couple months until I kind of was, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna begin kind of watching racing again. I'm gonna kind of get back into loving cars and motorsport. But it was I was very young at the time too, so I didn't fully comprehend it. But it was still just very sad. But I kind of need to. It serves as a reminder though that we need to make sure. We need to make sure we leave a lasting legacy to at least to the people that we care about as well. Make sure we try to, you know, always give it our all, because that may be our last chance to give it our all as well. So you just gotta keep pushing as hard as you can to be the best you can be. Let's do another street cross race here. There we go. Very nice, very twisty bits. Street cross is very fun. You love the Ken Block Ford Fiesta. For me, my favorite Ken Block car is the Unicorn, the first generation Unicorn, as well as his the Ford Escort that he had, the Mark II Ford Escort. Both of those were really cool cars, and I enjoyed seeing the build of the Escort as well on the socials and on the YouTube pages and everything. Very cool. Yeah, the Ford Fiesta, the Ken Block Ford Fiesta is an absolute classic. I remember back during the Midnight Club LA days, with Rate My Ride being open, nearly any Ford Focus that you saw had the Ken Block livery, and even like the cars that weren't necessarily associated with them. Any car that was vaguely like a rally car, like the Mitsubishi Lancers, had the Ken Block livery on them as popular liveries. So it was really cool to see that. I think one person even put the Ken Block livery on one of the Celine Mustangs in the game, which is kind of funny because that was before the Unicorn really became a vehicle, became a famous vehicle. So it was really cool. Kind of seeing someone may have predicted, hey, he might be able to also drive a Mustang, doing some fun stuff. Oh wow, we're actually gonna get really close to lapping someone. The worst car here in Brazil is the Fiat Marea. It literally catches fire. Oh, so it's like the Ford Pinto. The Ford Pinto here in the States was known as a vehicle that was like basically known to catch fire if you got rear-ended, because the fuel tank would leak into the hot exhaust and then the car would burst into flames. So that one was known as the Fireball, the really bad car that you want to avoid. For a very long time, that was the vehicle that you needed to avoid. Nice refreshing drink of water. Very good. It's always good. If you ever intend to start streaming and stuff, it's always good to have a means of staying hydrated really close by to you, because you do get dehydrated. You do get the dry mouth and the dry throat quite a bit if you're talking without getting any hydration. And it even became a meme on the Brazilian internet. Thankfully, maybe not so thankfully, but the Ford Pinto became it couldn't really become a meme because it was a bit before It was a bit before, well, quite a bit before the internet. It was during the 70s and 80s where the Ford Pinto was kind of known as the fireball car, the car that catches on fire quite a bit. Oh, it's still really cool though. Very fun. Very, very nice car. I mean, not necessarily a nice car, but, you know, funny end result. Although nowadays the Pinto has become like one of the de facto vehicles to kind of swap a V8 into and turn into a drag car because of its super lightweight chassis. So people will tub out the rear to put in the big wide racing slicks, and then they'll put in like the biggest possible V8 engine that can fit in there, and put a massive supercharger on it and just absolutely tear up the drag strip, because the chassis itself, you can still find some Ford Pintos for fairly cheap. And the chassis itself was a decent chassis, with the exception of the fuel tank issue. The Fiat Brava is the smaller sister of the Fiat Marea, but doesn't catch fire because the parts are hard to find. Yeah, I know the feeling of parts being hard to find. A buddy of mine in high school, he was like, "Oh wow, look at this! I got a really cool Volvo, this old Volvo car," and it wasn't, you know, like the Volvo 240 or anything like that. No, it was like the Volvo like S50 or something along that lines. It's from like the 90s, and finding parts for that car when he inevitably broke something on it was so difficult. He eventually got a different vehicle after that. But he was like, "Oh yeah, I got you know, like a Swedish luxury car, it was super cheap," which is never a good sign when we have a luxury car for super cheap, because oh my word, it usually means it's difficult to repair, or parts are hard to find, or something is broken on it. My grandma's friend had a Fiat Marea, now she has the Volkswagen Fox. Oh cool, very nice. Mario is not the Fiat Brava. Sorry for confusing. That's alright. That's okay. You are forgiven. Nah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Oh man, this is like a lot of fun though. But we'll probably reached pretty close to the end of stage 3. But I want to just drive. I just want to do more events and stuff like that with the current car we have, getting more money, doing all this stuff. Oh, we got more roof scoops. I'm sure none of them will look good at all, but that is okay. Alright, let's do another sprint race. So many events. So much money. We should probably actually get a second vehicle, like an SUV or something, just to kind of tune up. But I'm enjoying the 240SX too much. It's just a very fun car to drive. Yeah, in the United States we have the Fiat 500. I think it's either called the Fiat 500X or the Fiat 500L, depending on which version you're looking at. But yeah, it's basically kind of a bigger SUV, built on a Jeep chassis, but with like the Fiat front and rear ends on it to kind of like have a different styling. And here in Brazil we have the Fiat Pulse and the Fastback. Very nice. And unfortunately in the States we didn't get the Fiat Punto either. The Punto's a pretty cool car, especially the Abarth. The Abarth Punto definitely seems very cool looking. But yeah. Alright, we're out in front. We're a little over a second ahead. Gotta make sure we carry some speed through this corner complex here. There we go. Past the traffic. Very good, very nice. Whee! Gotta be very careful. This is when the track gets very tight, very technical. We gotta make sure we don't have any issues here, because if we do, the AI will absolutely blow past us. Fiat here in Brazil is very strong. It's the third place, the best-selling cars, just losing the Volkswagen and Chevy. Oh, very cool. I guess it's because they make a lot of like the smaller, lower displacement, more compact vehicles which seems to be like the market trend for cars in Brazil for people to own. Nice sort of good people movers, very very lightweight, good on fuel, very reliable type cars. I think it's probably the type of vehicles that are like very very popular. At least that's what it seems. I'm talking with you. Oh. Sorry. Sorry about that. There we go. Much better. All right. Oh, hi there, kitty. The kitty cat has now joined the stream as well. The garbanzo, the little tabby garbanzo. She is now sitting next to me, just kind of chilling. The cat has joined the stream. Very very nice. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, so we still have one street cross event and 4 URL events. So we'll do this drift event. We'll go up. We'll do those 2 URL events, and then we will do the street cross events, and then we'll go begin making our way to the airport as well, because we are running out of events very very quickly. I think we've kind of done so many of them, but it's so much fun doing these races though. Like that is the thing, is with these older Need for Speed games, the driving itself is just so much fun. It's just really really enjoyable. Really enjoyable to kind of see, to take your vehicle around these tracks and everything with all the different event variety. That it doesn't get stale. It's just really really fun. All right, this is a very short track. We gotta kind of carry some speed around these corners. There we go. Carry some speed around this corner here. Very nice. Do a little bit of fishtailing. Absolutely triple their point total. My uncle on the father's side has the Citroen C3. Ah, I'm familiar with that one. I remember doing the license test in Gran Turismo 4, where you do the one lap following the pace car with the Citroen C3. That's a cool little car as well. It looks quite nice actually. I don't know how that car didn't break down. It's one of the worst cars in the Brazilian market. Oh, never mind then. Thankfully I've never had the opportunity of needing to repair or to maintain one or own one. But virtually in Gran Turismo 4, it was an interesting little car. The drift events in the first 2 Underground games are very very tricky in the lower powered vehicles. But once you begin making around like the 250 horsepower range, there or thereabouts, they become so much easier and actually become really really fun. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the drift events once you kind of like begin upgrading everything. Very very nice. Very very fun. It's a Brazilian. Oh gosh, nice race. And we got some suspension parts. Very, very cool. Let's do this special event.
Hot 4 scouting for their next hero.
This Brazilian lives in Texas Zobus with the Technobus Tribus 3. Okay, I need to see that. I need to see that now. Technobus Tribus 3. Let me look that up. Oh, it's literally just like a city bus. Interesting. Very very cool looking. And they're like Greyhound in the United States. Ah, okay. So it's like a coach bus. Very very cool. Very nice. All right, we unlocked some more magazine cover opportunities. So let's make sure we get that as well. Because I do not want to risk losing those opportunities. I want to be able to get my car on all the magazine covers. I want my car to look nice. I want my car to be very very famous. Money, my money. Ooh, more money. More money, more problems. I just saw some more money over there, but we'll get that back in the last time. This one lives in Texas, this guy who bought the bus. Very, very cool. Very, very nice. I wonder what you do with a bus. So, like, would you customize it? Would you like upgrade it? Like, what would you do with the bus? Okay, so we gotta turn around. Now I've got to turn around. We got to do a little bit of a loop to get to. We got to make sure we get to the site on time. I think I know what we need to do for this one. It's gonna be a fairly tricky one though. Oh gosh, that's a bad corner. Very, very bad corner. Like I wonder if people would like you kind of like customize that and turn it into like a party bus, like a cool sound system, and like, you know, leather, like very, very like soft cushiony seats and everything like that. You know, kind of turn it into like a rock star party bus type of thing. So that could be kind of cool to kind of like customize one of those big buses and use that like as like an RV, like a luxury RV type vehicle, maybe. And you just go touring around the country with that. That'd be fun. It'd be very, very fun. All right, nice and easy. There's a Brazilian bus brand called Marco Polo that sells its buses over 100 countries, including the United States. Ah, yeah. I'm vaguely familiar with Marco Polo. I haven't seen too many other vehicles here on the East Coast, but they usually sold more in like southern, like south, like the southern central and southwest United States. They usually use more so as like city buses there. There we go.
You just railed a spread in hot fours.
Very, very cool. We have nailed. Of course, it is raining as well, because why wouldn't it be? Let's get the dolphin statues here. All right, back this way. Ooh, there we go. Perfect. Bang! Nice. Get the burnout. Get the statue kind of got covered up by the hot forest thing, but it's good enough. It's close enough. We are close enough there. It looks decent. Gotta save that picture as well. There we go. Alright, what else do we have? We do not have too much left. While we're here, let's do the street cross events. Make our way back to the city center. I'm gonna try to complete stage 3 tonight. We did a lot, so many races with this car. Very, very fun. Seeing the car steadily get more faster and faster. We also gotta make sure we get some tuning parts for the vehicle as well. Because I did see that the new suspension kit got new suspension upgrades are available for us. So we gotta. Oh gosh. All right, that was bad. That was very bad. The speed. I just realized I haven't created a schedule at all for this coming up week. I still need to kind of get a few things situated for that. But yeah.
Hey, what up, kid? Yo, you got
Hey, what's up?
details on rumors of racing around the Hotel Plaza area? You alright?
Alright, where are you? Oh, we're pretty close to the
If you're there, man, check it out. Let me know what the deal is, son.
So we'll do this race. We'll do this race first, the street cross race, and then we'll take our car to the tuning shop to get the level 2 suspension upgrades. I just hit an event there as well. There's so many things to do still, and it makes it difficult. It makes it so difficult to kind of plan out what you need to do, because there's so many cool things to do. So much fun. The Technobus had the other 2 buses in addition to the Technobus Tribute 2, 1986 and 1991, Technobus Tribute 4, 1986 and 1999, even had a very beautiful intro bar. Oh, cool. Very, very nice. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult to have a diesel engine, at least in my opinion, because I'm not a big diesel fan. It's very, very difficult to have a diesel engine sound good. So to have a bus company make a good sounding diesel engine is very, very, very impressive. Very, very cool. Very nice. All right, here we go. Full speed ahead. We got the Infiniti G35. We got the RX-7. We got the Hyundai Tribune. Oh no, that's right. I identified that. It's the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. Fun fact though about the G35 is it's built with the similar chassis, or it uses very, very similar chassis components and the same engine as the Nissan 350Z as well. Very, very cool. It's basically the sister car to the 350Z. Just in different clothing. Very, very cool car though. Although those most of the time now, when you see one, it's been at least fairly heavily modified, and someone's done quite a bit of tuning to it. Very rarely do you see one stock. Usually it's you know, it's got the body kits and, you know, quite a bit of engine exhaust mods as well and everything. All right, let's gotta navigate through, keep ourselves nice and planted. To see this, when you begin to like really upgrade your car, the street cross events really come to life. It's just so much fun. It just feels like a slot car. The speed, the twistiness. Oh, it's so good. In Brazil, there is the second largest bus station in the world, using only the bus station in New York. The road station is called the bus station of Tietê. Oh, nice. Yeah, I imagine with with Brazil having some pretty big cities as well, they would need some pretty good public transport to get people around and everything. Subway's on strike. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully they're able to come to a resolution and get, you know, the workers and, you know, the company and everything are able to kind of come to an agreement for, you know, the difference, you know, and able to kind of meet demands and everything. Or at the very least, able to come to a good compromise that kind of benefits both parties. Because it's always difficult when people go on strike as well. Because a lot of things do get affected, but you also can't you can't just, you know, tell everyone, you know, suck it up, get back to work and everything as well. So it's very, 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 very different. Alright, window tints, cool. Don't care too much about that, but I do want to get that suspension upgrade sooner rather than later. We'll probably do this hidden event here. Yeah. Inside the bus terminal, it seems like you're in another city. Oh wow, it's that big. Okay, nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, here. So where I live fairly close to DC. Sort of, it's in the like the Tri-Cities area with Baltimore, Annapolis, and DC. And I'm just kind of north of that. And we have some very kind of interesting train stations and bus stations as well. But most of them are kind of smaller and designed just to kind of like temporarily, you know, hold you until the bus comes by. But there's a lot more of them kind of along like between the three cities. Because there's a very, very big kind of like urban sprawl where the cities kind of blend into each other quite a bit. The metro in Sao Paulo was created in 1973. With the metro fleet manufactured by Mafiosa. Very cool. Very nice. I'm learning a lot about Brazil. I didn't know any of this stuff beforehand. Very, very cool. Very, 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 very cool. Thanks for telling me this stuff as well. I'm learning quite a bit. I know normally I kind of do these streams to kind of, you know, gush about vehicles and give little facts and tidbits about vehicles that I'm driving or racing against. But it is me that is the one that is learning the most today, it seems. just like previously, where there was Midnight, he was talking about the different ports of the Need for Speed Nitro as well, and the different features it had. That was really, really cool. Learning about that as well. Very, very cool. But it is good to kind of try to learn a new fact, learn a new ability, at least once a day as well. Kind of begin to, because you don't want to let your knowledge stagnate. You don't want to you don't want to just be content with learning what you know now. You want to be able to learn more and more as well. Different abilities, different facts, and everything. Really, really cool. Because that allows you to kind of put different pieces. They then kind of come to a different conclusion as well, with regards to other information. It's always really, really cool. But I'm a nerd. I was the one that was like super studious in school and everything, and was always like head in a book. So maybe that's just me. Metro Sao Paulo. In addition, the next station is in Portuguese. It also has English to help people from other countries. Really cool. I guess it helps a lot with like tourism as well. With the Sao Paulo being one of the bigger cities and probably a fairly big tourist destination as well. It probably is very, very helpful to let English speakers know where they need to go, so they don't get lost and have a bad time on their vacations. So they keep coming back, spend more money and stuff like that in the local businesses and everything. I haven't been outside the United States, so I want to travel a little bit to different countries, but it's very, very difficult to do that. Doubly so for myself, as for me, my job requires me to get super special permission to leave the country. And I need to like say, oh, this is the hotel I'll be staying at. This is where I will be on these days. This is when I am coming back because of what I do for a living. So it makes it even more difficult, even outside of costs. It makes it very, very difficult to visit other countries. But I would love to visit. I would love to visit different countries. It'd be very, 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 very cool. It'd be very, very cool to kind of see different aspects of the world. Because while I have traveled a fair bit on like the East Coast United States, there still is a lot that I haven't seen that I do want to see sometime in the near future. And I'm hoping to kind of travel, even if I can't leave the country due to work and everything. I would like to travel westward and see some of the western United States as well. Because right now I've only really seen most of the East Coast and a little bit like the Appalachians, but I'd love to kind of head west, kind of visit some other areas too, kind of travel through like the mid and southwest, as well as like the West Coast section as well. See some of that stuff. And we don't have Metro manufactured in the United States, but we have Metro manufactured from France, Spain, and Canada. Oh, really cool. Very, very cool. And it's very interesting seeing where the different components of like your infrastructure come from as well, when you kind of dig deep and kind of do the research into that. Very, very, very interesting seeing just how interconnected different industries are as well, and where things are being imported and exported from. For example, the port of Baltimore. It's a very, very big port. And it's really, really cool seeing all the boats and everything like that get unloaded and loaded up each and every day. Because there was someone for a while who had like a live stream up of like a 24-hour like footage of the boats and everything coming in and out of the port of Baltimore, which is really, really cool. And you get to see the car, different products and everything, different crates, get unloaded from the boats and get loaded onto like tractor trailers or onto the trains, the rail yard. and you get to see all that, and you kind of wonder, you know, what all that stuff is, where it's coming from, where it's going, and it's super busy, economically, but it's really cool. But I kind of have a soft spot for, you know, ports and boats and everything, and seeing you know the different commerce and all that. Oh, we're not gonna make it. We had a bad crash. That's gonna affect us horrifically. Yeah. Which is why also back when Baltimore had the GM manufacturing plant, it was fairly close by to the port, so you could just have the cars delivered fairly quickly from the factory directly to the port and the rail yard, and basically they go directly from the factory to there, and then they be shipped all across the United States, and even to foreign markets as well, which is really cool. I love to see automotive manufacturing come back to Baltimore. It'd be very nice. In Sao Paulo, we have the monorail. Oh, monorails are super cool. Yeah, it's a train that is inside Disney in Orlando. Yeah, it's really cool kind of seeing them, because especially like the suspended monorails or the like the raised monorails as well. It's really cool, like as a people mover, very kind of futuristic, you know, styling and everything. Yeah, here in the States, a lot of our trains and everything are for like getting around cities are mostly underground instead of above ground, because it's usually cheaper and usually more out of the way to have them underground than to kind of build the infrastructure above ground and maintain the bridges and everything like that. But yes, quite a few cities have some fairly intricate subway systems. Like New York, even and Los Angeles both have some fairly big subways. And then you have Chicago with the L train, the elevated train. And Chicago is like a lasagna. It's got like lots of layers and everything. You have the streets below, you have streets above streets, and even above that, then you have, you know, the train system and everything, which is really cool. Very intricate infrastructure as well. I'm kind of glad I'm not a civil engineer, because just thinking about, you know, how to get that all working without getting in the way of each other is mind-boggling. I just have to build things that fly and don't fall to the ground in a spectacular fashion. In Sao Paulo, the subways are also underground and sometimes on the surface. Oh, really cool. So you guys have monorails, you guys have subways. Very nice. Yeah, New York City is probably the closest to like Sao Paulo in terms of infrastructure and everything, with it being a very kind of tight, very grid city with lots of. You do have some elevated trains. You do have some underground subways as well. Many taxi cabs, so many taxi cabs, bus system. And New York City is just very dense. The rest of the United States is a bit more spread out and stuff like that, with the exception of maybe like certain aspects of California, which is also very dense. But yeah, it's very interesting kind of seeing, you know, how like the different geography and everything affects how the cities develop too. Like Baltimore being a coastal, or like a city that's kind of built right next to the water. It kind of limits how you can kind of spread out a little bit. So the city itself is kind of almost divided a little bit by the rivers and all the Chesapeake as well. And so it's almost different. You know, the city itself is kind of separated. So one area is more, you know, industrial section, whereas another is a bit more like residential, and the river kind of acts, or the bay kind of acts a bit more like the dividing line a little bit at times. The monorail is manufactured by Bombardier, I believe. I think it's how you pronounce it. Really cool. And this is a very tricky track, this one. Very narrow, very twisty. It is cool that the track kind of goes over itself though, with the figure 8 styling. Here's hoping that we can kind of get this one. There we go. Nice and easy through here. We have one more lap to go. These are some very, very long laps too. Ooh. Alright, we're 3 seconds ahead so far. We're doing fairly well, although second place is catching us up quite quickly. So we do need to be very careful. We need to make sure that we do not lose any speed. We do not crash like that. Come on, down to third gear. There we go. That was a slight mistake on my part. Let's use a little bit of the nitrous to kind of get some more speed through here. Woo. Very close. Very, very close contact with the traffic. There is a subway. It does not need a driver. It is the online boy yellow of the subway. It's a Korean train. Oh, cool. So it's basically like a train that's like on autopilot. Really, really cool. It's like an unmanned train. It is interesting seeing, you know, the AI and how that gets implemented into the different infrastructures as well. Very, 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 very cool. Very, very cool. Because we're getting close to having, you know, self-driving cars. And of course we have the UAVs, the unmanned aerial vehicles. And while those aren't flown by AI, they're flown by people on the ground using, like, you know, VR sets and like monitors and all that stuff. Like almost like a video game, but in real life. But it's cool seeing, you know, how you can get, you know, the unmanned vehicles. It was created in 2010. Oh, nice. So it's been around for quite a while. Very, very cool. We have a few corners left. Let's, come on, carry speed on the uphill. Speed, speed, speed. Final straight. Boost. There we go. That was a longer one. That was a very long track. Nice, we got a little bit more money. More money, more problems. Ah, very nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Let's get that suspension upgrade so we can take those corners even faster. And let's begin taking down those URL races. Should be good. Should be nice. Quickly. Now let's take our vehicle. Let's take our vehicle to the tuning shop. Let's get that knocked out first, and then we need to do the URL races. I think that is the last thing we need to do to complete this stage. Yeah, because there's no special events, none of that, which is good. So we just need to get these upgrades, just to make the URL events just a little bit easier for us. Get the car to kind of hold its own just a bit better in the twisty bits. There we go, in the Megalo. Get that extra discount as well. If we can, you know, if we're close by, we may as well save a little bit of extra money.
You know what? Take practicality and throw it out the window. Harden your suspension.
There we go.
Slice through turns by upgrading your
Very, very nice. Got the camber plates as well, so we get some of that extra camber to really kind of get the car all nice and planted on the ground. Here in Brazil, the station wagon market is completely extinct. Pretty much here in the States as well. The last car of the station wagon market was the Palio weekend. Oh. Yeah, here in the States, it's basically, with the exception of like Volvo and Mercedes, we don't really have too many wagons for sale, which is a shame because wagons are really, really cool because they're basically an SUV but not nearly as tall. We still got all the space for, you know, to haul things around and everything. I stopped manufacturing the Palio weekend in 2018. Oh man, that is rough. I do wish that station wagons would make a return. It'd be very, very cool to kind of see, you know, people driving station wagons again, and to have station wagons be considered a cool vehicle. Be very, very nice to see that. Okay, okay, it wants us to go this way. It wants us to go this way. Yes, stop yelling at me. Stop yelling at me. Stop yelling at me, Arrow. It's like, buddy, go here. Buddy, go here. Go here. The Jetta variant was the coolest of all. It came with the factory turbo. It was manufactured in Argentina. Oh, nice. And the Jetta wagon was a pretty interesting vehicle. Very, very nice. Very nice car. Alright, here we go. We're going to be doing some track racing now. Off of the city streets, onto the closed race course. Very, very cool. Tight and twisty. Very nice. This will be where our suspension upgrades really shine as well. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go. There we go. Speed. Speed. Give us some grip. Give us some of that acceleration. Oh, this car is so planted. It feels so much better than we were driving it earlier on these tracks. Use some of the banking to our advantage. Just carry the speed through these corners. As oh, and it handles so nice. It has some good power. Very, very nice. The Chevrolet Spin here in Brazil has the nickname Chevrolet Capybara, because the front end looks like a capybara. Capybaras are adorable. They're just super. They're the animal that just is super chill with everyone. I remember when I was a kid, we went to the petting zoo with my parents, and I remember just like chilling with the capybaras as well. I was just kind of sitting there. One of them kind of came up to the fence, and I was like petting it and everything, and it made like the cutest little like almost like squealing-ish sound, and it was just chilling there. It was like, oh yeah, pet me more, human, I crave attention. It was so adorable. And then like they when it was feeding time, because you got to watch the animals eat as well. They put like a big like watermelon or a big like cantaloupe, I forget what, like a big like grapefruit type of like thing, big melon type fruit, in front of them, and they all kind of like gather around behind, just kind of like chewing on it and everything. It made the cutest sounds. The capybaras. I replaced the Chevrolet Zafira, which is the best minivan ever and the prettiest. I'll have to look that up after this race. Chevrolet Zafira. Yeah, I know. When I was a kid, my parents, we had the GMC Safari, which was based on the Chevrolet Astro, and that van was so nice, very, very fun. So many road trips in that vehicle. Just chilling in the back seat, listening to my parents, blast tunes from the 70s and 80s as they're going to like a whole bunch of different like day trips and stuff like that. We went to a lot of different like racetracks as well during the time, watching NASCAR at Dover, or at Richmond, or Richmond International Raceway, or Martinsville as well. It was like the three big trips that we would do to kind of watch like a lot of the NASCAR races when I was younger. Really, really fun. Yes, Saudi manufactured Chevrolet Astro here in Brazil. Oh, cool. Very, very cool. Very, very nice. Let's do the twisty bits. The car itself is handling absolutely beautifully. Very, very nice. I'm enjoying driving this car. Although this is a longer race though, which is a bit unfortunate. But it is still really, really cool. Really, really enjoyable to drive. Very, very, very excited. We are managing to keep up into the lead though, which is very nice. A Chevrolet Spin that looks like a capybara, and the Mark 1 and Mark 2 has the aggressive front. Which is interesting. It's just interesting describing like the front, like the capybara, as aggressive, because the capybara is like, you know, just a really chill little animal. Really cool. But I guess if you look at them in a different way, they can look a bit aggressive, but they're just super gentle. The Trailblazers was up by the police in Brazil. Yeah, it's like a Ford Explorer there in the U.S. Yeah, we have the Chevy Trailblazer as well here in the States. Really cool. It's an okay SUV. It's an okay SUV. But yeah, it's interesting as well, seeing like the different vehicles used for the police fleets. Like here in the States, the big one during the early 2000s was the Ford Crown Victoria, or the Chevrolet Caprice, which was built on the Impala chassis. And both of those are really nice vehicles. You know, and they kind of use a bit more in like grassroots motorsport as well. And they're kind of now seeing use as like, you know, tuning, you know, high performance like tuning vehicles and everything, because both of them have a fairly robust V8 engines. But I've noticed that a lot of Brazilian police, at least from the videos and stuff like that, they use a lot more like police like trucks or like SUVs and stuff instead, which is very interesting. A SWAT here in Brazil is called Gara. Cool. Very cool. Alright, we've lost the lead. We need to make sure we get back up into the front. Here we go. Nice and easy. Oh gosh, that's not good. Okay, good. We managed to save it. We managed to save that. That's good. Yeah, I did see Gran Turismo 7. They're getting new vehicles. Let's hope they actually have events for them, and they're not just going to be used to, oh, cool, I bought a minivan. There's no events for it. Well, it's in my garage now. It looks pretty in my garage. Let me take a photo of it. Like, here's hoping they actually have, you know, events for those cars that they're adding. You know, like an 80s Supercar Cup maybe, for, you know, like the Ferrari F40, the Porsche 959 that they're adding. Or, you know, some more classic supercar races, maybe. Or, you know, an event for, you know, kind of slower, like, van-like vehicles, maybe. Or some actual Group 2 events, because it looks like they're adding the DTM Audi, maybe. It'd be good, but they probably won't. They'll probably just add those cars and forget about them. I'd imagine it. They'll probably just forget about those cars once they're done. Once they're done with adding them. It's a shame, because they could add a lot more content by adding races for the vehicles they already have, but whatever. I really like Mr. Beast, and he's dubbed in Brazilian Portuguese. Oh, cool. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't speak enough Portuguese to really kind of do well to really speak it. What are the thoughts on the DTM car they add? It'll probably be a Group 2 car, very similar to the performance of the other JGT, so the Super GT cars. But there's barely any Group 4 cars in there's barely any Group 2 races in Gran Turismo 7. So if they don't add that with the new DTM car, it's not going to matter, because no one's going to use it and it's just going to get forgotten again. Which is a shame, because it's a cool car. But okay, they added it, but there's no races, people aren't going to use it. So they need to add the races first. They need to add the races for the car. I'm hoping that they've learned their lesson, but yeah, they probably won't. Here in Brazil, Carnival takes place in February. Now it's at Pascoas in April. Interesting. I've seen some videos of like Carnival and everything. Here in the States, we kind of have something similar-ish with Mardi Gras. That's in like Louisiana. Mardi Gras, like more specifically in like New Orleans. and it's very, very, very cool, very fun. I've heard. I've not actually been to either Carnival or Mardi Gras, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to kind of see what it's like and kind of, you know, the party atmosphere, and just enjoying, you know, enjoying the festivities. I think it'd be really, really cool to kind of see that. That'd definitely be really, really, really interesting. Valentine's Day happens here in my country in June, and it's not February like the rest of the world. Interesting. I just recently found out. Speaking of like holidays being on different times, I just recently found out that Mother's Day in the United Kingdom is an entirely different day compared to Mother's Day in the United States, which is very, very interesting. Cause I'm part of a Discord server of a different VTuber, Snow Brunch, and he's Scottish, and like from Scotland and everything, and it's a lot more like European people in the server, and you have everyone wishing themselves like everyone wishing like a happy Mother's Day, and I woke up and I'm like, wait a second, it's not Mother's Day, and I searched it up, and it turns out it's an entirely different day for Mother's Day in the US versus in the UK, which is really cool. And that one's because in June is the month that sells the least things. So it's kind of designed to be more so a way to kind of increase the revenues of the stores and everything, get people out shopping, to purchase things for their sweetheart, for, you know, for all that stuff. I see that plan. That's clever. That is very, very clever. GG. GG Brazil. Alright, that is that corner complex right there, that tight left-hander. Gotta be very, very careful in that. Gotta be very careful. Do I have Automobilista 2 on my computer? I do not, I believe. I should. Probably next time it goes on sale, I may get it. I'm a little bit out of practice with regards to sim racing. So I need to kind of get back into that and begin doing, you know, more of the sim racing stuff. And just sim racing in general. It's very expensive as well. With that. With a lot of those PC only sim racing games. Because it's not only do you buy the game, which is usually like 30-40 bucks, but then you also need to buy like content for the game as well to be able to compete online against other people, and that can run you quite a high price as well. And Brazil, there are the two national car brands, the Puma and the Gurgle. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but the Gurgle, I'm sure it's probably pronounced entirely different than what I'm saying it as, but it sounds really, really funny. Gurgle. They both use Volkswagen engines. Oh, cool. Very, very nice. But it's entirely different brands, entirely different chassis and everything. Very, very cool. Very nice. All right. So now I have another race. Let's make sure we absolutely demolish the competition. There we go. Good launch. Use a bit of nitrous. I kind of want to stay in the slipstream for a bit and just get a lot of nitrous right from the start. Try to kind of maintain speed here. Get a little bit of a draft. Refill our nitrous because we do have the race breaker. The race breaker ability, which is a really cool feature in Need for Speed Underground 2. Where doing cool tricks with the car, doing, you know, stylish driving, allows you to get a little bit more boost as well. Very, very nice, and it's everything from, you know, having a clean lap to a best lap, to a clean section as well, to drafting the vehicles. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of keep the speed up. And to kind of keep drafting against other opponents, keep people driving, you know, very, very stylishly, very cleanly as well. Gives incentive for different driving styles, which is cool. Very, very cool. Oh, I like this track. I like the outskirts track a lot more compared to some of the other tracks. Very, very nice. It's very kind of flowing, very fast. Very, very, very enjoyable to drive with the 240SX. Very cool. Alright, little tippy tap of the brakes. There we go. Very nice. Brazil was the first country to have the Volkswagen outside Germany. It arrived in 1953 with the first cars, the Volkswagen Combi, the Bus, and the Beetle. Oh, nice. Yeah, it took a little while. It took a little while for Volkswagen to get into the States post World War II and everything. They mainly kind of made their big debut and their big popularity in the 60s, and especially during the 70s as well with the gas crisis. That kind of really increased the popularity of the Volkswagen vehicles, with them being, you know, seen as cheap, very reliable, very fuel efficient vehicles. So a lot of people kind of got them. So the Golf and the Beetle were very, very popular, as well as the Bus as well. Other subcultures as well were centered around those vehicles, and the Herbie movies as well definitely did not hurt the popularity of those cars. And Seo Bernardo del Campo factory, the first Volkswagen Brazil factory outside Germany. Nice, very, very nice. We gotta keep our speed through the twisty bits. What we're gonna do is because it's 6 o'clock now. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to complete all the Underground Racing League events that we have unlocked for us right now. And then we're gonna be ending the stream after that. So we still have 2 more Underground Racing Leagues after this event, and both of those are at the airport. And that should be the final 2 that we need to do. The meaning of Volkswagen is people's car. Yeah, really, really cool. Because it was designed to be sort of a vehicle that anyone could purchase, regardless of the average worker could purchase, and it would be reliable enough to get them to and from work, and reliable enough to kind of get them to and from the grocery store, and kind of transport the family around as well. Kind of the general all-purpose but very, very cheap vehicle. If you have Volkswagen in the West, thank us. Well, thank you. I do enjoy having the Volkswagens, especially like the Beetles and everything in the States. Very, very cool cars. It's especially fun seeing like the Volkswagens in the hot rod culture as well. Seeing how people customize those cars. Doing anything from like swapping in like the Porsche engines to kind of making them like low riders, or making absolutely stancing them out as well. I want to see the Volkswagen set factory in Brazil. I gotta take a look at that. Volkswagen. Images. It's this one, right? It's this one. This huge factory. Yeah, that looks really, really. Oh gosh, that is huge. That is nice. That is some very, very, very nice. That's a big factory. That's really cool. It's cool that they're still like producing vehicles as well. Really, really nice. All right, let's overwrite the save game Let's overwrite the save game data, and let's get the final two URL events. That's huge. That is nice. Yeah, the GM assembly plant in Baltimore was a bit smaller than that, but that was still a very, very big factory before they tore that down as well. Really, really cool. Very, very nice. Oh, more. Yeah, custom gauges. Yep, new inventory. Cool. All right, let's go. Let's go to the airport now. Oh, dude, don't change on me like that. The arrow couldn't make up its mind. Our factory is close to the cousin's house. Oh, cool, nice. I wonder, does he do they work? Do they work at the factory at all? Because if it is, that'd be really, really cool. Because it's very, you know, if it's very, very short, it's nice to kind of have a short distance to where you work, so you don't have to, you know, spend more time driving to and from work and waste fuel and, you know, all that stuff. Because my work is very, very far away from where I live. It's like an hour drive. Very, 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 very far away. Alright, here we go. Drag race. We got this. Very, very nice. Let's do this. Let's do the 2 URL races. And then we should be done for the stream. Alright, let's see. Let's see what we have here. Oh, he has a metallic red Beetle. Really, really cool. Very, very cool. I wish I would love to restore an old Volkswagen Beetle as well. It seems very, very fun. There's a lot you can do with them. I'm turning into like a beach dune buggy to just you know, to just kind of have them as like a classic car and everything, and keeping them as close to stock. There's a lot you can do with them, to like making them like a lowrider to a hot rod. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool cars. Showing that overwrite save game data? Yeah, let's overwrite save game data. There we go. Very nice. Alright, now let's take down these 2 URL races finally. And then we should be good to go. Hopefully. There's a Beetle named the president who won Brazil, Etmar Franco. The Fusho's nickname, the Fusha Intmar. Oh, cool. Very, very nice. Now we got muffler tip paint. We don't need that right now. We just need to complete these 2 events. Let's do it. We'll be racing at the airport. Alright, here we go. Cutscene as well.
Yeah? It's done. Everything is set up. You just make sure you hold up your end of the deal, you hear?
The future is so loved that even the president of Brazil had one. Oh, nice. Very, very cool. Very cool, very cool. Oh, we're gonna be racing on the airport. Very cool. Very, very cool. We'll be racing on the constructed, like the runway that's under construction. Oh, yes. Very, very fun. Let's do it. Let's have some of these races. Let's have the speed. I mean, with a car that's, you know, as ingrained into the country's history as the Beetle as well. I'd imagine, you know, it kind of also kind of plays into the, you know, the being, you know, like a president of the people and everything, maybe. All right, we got this. Speed. Let's get a good launch here. Oh, this airport when I was little, the Kwangong Hai airport. Yeah, it's very, very, very tight and twisty, the airport tracks. A little bit more 90-degree corners compared to the closed circuit for the other URL races. So it does add a little bit more challenge to the races as well, because it does get very, very tight, very technical. It almost becomes a like a street cross event, but with nitrous used, with how tight the corners are. It makes it very tricky to kind of navigate through them. You need a car that has some very, very good handling. You need some very, very, very good handling. Alright, come on, give me some speed. Gotta draft off the Peugeot here. nice and easy, nice and easy. I want to break around at the 3. Oh gosh, okay, maybe a bit before the 3. That was a little bit not that great. Through the corner. I need to gain a lot of time on that RX-7. The RX-7 is very, very nimble. And the Volkswagen Nivus, Polo, Virtus, and Saviero are all manufactured in Brazil. Oh, nice. So you guys make quite a big variety of the Volkswagens. Oh, you spun. All right, that's an easy way to get to the lead, and an easy way to lose the lead. All right, we have 1.5 laps left. We need to get back in front of that 3000 GT. They do have that all-wheel drive grip though, going through the straights. So it is going to make it very, very difficult, trying to out-accelerate them out of the corners. Fun fact though, there was some actual racing events that were and are currently held on airport airfields and everything. For example, Silverstone used to be an airfield before it got turned into like a Formula 1 racetrack. And they basically when racing first was brought to Silverstone, they basically kind of raced on like the airfield and the roads surrounding the airfield as well. Sebring is another track that basically uses parts of an old airfield runaway, which is why it's so bumpy. But it's really, really cool kind of having that like old vibe. And then for tracks that like actually use still active runways, in America you have the St. Petersburg Grand Prix in Florida, and the main straight there is a temporarily closed down airport that they closed down for the race weekend, which is really, really cool. And then during the 90s and early 2000s, there was the Grand Prix of Cleveland, which is basically entirely on a closed off section of the Cleveland airport, which is really, really cool. Soon Volkswagen will make the ID3 and the ID4. Ah, the electric cars. Nice. I'm interested to see how well they are received, not only in the States but globally as well. Seeing how people react to the electric vehicles. It also manufactures the T-Cross. My friend's mother has that car. The T-Cross is the cousin of Alta. Cool, very, very cool. That is a lot. That is a lot of cars being manufactured there. Very, 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 very cool. I can see why the plant is so big. They need to manufacture such a wide variety of vehicles and make sure everything kind of stays in order and all that. Alright, nice and easy. Gotta follow the RX-7 through the twisty bits. Alright, nice and easy through here. Speed, yes please. I need to get some more speed through here. This should be the final event, or the final race of this semi-final event. And then we just have one more URL race afterwards. And it is really fun doing some of these URL races. The twisty nature of the courses, it keeps you on your toes. And it really kind of shows off the handling of the game as well. How it really kind of makes it, it really is enjoyable. Whether you're on the streets or you're on a tight closed course, it's still very, very exciting driving these cars. It's very, very fun. Very nice. Come on, give me a little bit more speed. Gotta make sure I kind of brake going into this tight left-hander though. It's very difficult trying to brake and turn at the same time. You almost need to kind of tap the brake and kind of approach the corner in a straight line. And then turn in. There we go. Very nice. Oh, the speed of this car though. We are definitely dominating competition. Doing fairly well here. We should be able to get an easy victory. Alright, take care. Thanks for telling me all about the car culture of Brazil as well. I didn't know a lot of that stuff. Really, really cool. Thanks for stopping by. I do hope you enjoyed the stream though. I should be getting a stream schedule on the socials a little bit later today. So if you are looking for the other streams, do keep an eye out for that. That should be there somewhat soon. I need to create it though. So, there was a few things on the schedule that were a little bit up in the air, but I think I've got it finalized now. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. All right. Alright, we should only have one more URL race left. We got this. I'm hoping. Yep, new inventory and taillights. That's fine because we're going to be doing another URL race before we do that. Oh, money! Yes, please. Yes, please. Money, 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 money. All right, this should be another good race.
Check it out. It's the Big Daddy champ from up north.
Nah, man, can't be. Looks more like a chump than a champ.
Hey, come on, we're a good driver. We got this.
So you're what all the fuss is about?
Yeah.
Don't look like much to me.
Be careful.
You
Be
haven't
careful.
got a
I know exactly what I'm doing behind the
chance.
wheel.
You're off the track.
Sure, lady. Sure, Nikki. I can beat you. We got this. We got this. We got this. We'll beat her. We'll beat her fair and square, nice and easy. Should be super easy. Let's do this. Final URL of the stream. Let's blow the doors off the competition here. All right, we're starting fairly close to the front. It looks like. I didn't see Nikki's Mustang anywhere, so it looks like we may not actually have to deal with her just yet. Although her Mustang and Caleb's GTO are definitely not vehicles that pose too much of a challenge, because both of them are kind of heavier vehicles, and this game's handling meta doesn't really like heavier vehicles. It likes lighter weight vehicles a lot better. Alright, come on. We've got this. We've got this. Give me some speed. You have another 240SX in front of us. Should definitely keep us on our toes just a little bit. It'll be almost like a mirror match. It'll basically come down to who is the better driver. Myself, or I didn't get a chance to look at the driver's name in front. Wesley Snipes. Alright, well we are going to... Ooh, Wesley, you're being very mean there, Wesley. Bugger off, Wesley. Oh gosh, I am being bullied. The AI gets very bumpy through that section. They like to bump you, like to spin you around just a little bit there. Very easy to get wrecked by the AI. Come on. Keep the speed, we got this. There's a very long back straight as well, really fun. You can reach some high speeds going into the tight left-hand corner here. Very fun getting that corner right though. Yes. All right, 2 to go. I got some more tight 90-degree corners. Gotta watch ourselves through here. Gotta be very careful. Yes, there we go. Very nice. Very good. I keep the speed up. Yes. Come on, gotta go faster. Easy tippy tap of the brakes. Get the car slowed down. Alright, one more lap. Here we go. I wonder if this would be a single race for the URL, if this would be a tournament race where we get points. Where we get points for each of the, how we finish. I'm hoping it's just a single race. Alright, speed. I hear the GTO just behind us. The low growl of the V8 is actually doing surprisingly well. That driver must be one of the best. Cliff must be one of the best drivers on the circuit. Being able to compete against a lighter weight 240SX in a very heavy GTO. Come on. Come on, give me some speed. Yes. Ooh, you are right behind me. Wow. GG. Well done. Okay, so it is a championship race. Next race, here we go. Let's make sure we absolutely blow the doors so let's get the competition one more time. We've got this. We've got this. Yes. All right. There's Wesley just behind us in that 240SX. Come on, we gotta have a Nissan 1-2 across the line. Gotta represent the brand. Gotta represent the 240SX quite well, hopefully. There we go, nice and easy through here. There we go, there we go. First lap done. Alright, tippy tap. Tippy tap of the brakes. Come on, come on. We're staying just barely a second ahead of the other 240SX. But they do catch up a little bit on the straightaways. Our vehicle isn't quite as fast on the straights as some of their cars. We're able to mostly gain some speed, mostly gain a little bit of time on some of the twistier sections when we're not touching the walls. So it's kind of even out, just a little bit. Wesley is still just behind us. Gotta be just a little bit careful, a little bit cautious. Come on. We've got this. We've got this. Up to 5th gear. It'd be cool to kind of close down an airport and kind of have like actual tuner cars race on it, like as a legitimate racing series and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Just to see them, you know, kind of race, you know, the different tuned vehicles race on, you know, the kind of the flatter, higher speed tracks. That'd be very, very cool. Because right now the big kind of tuner style events are like drag racing, drifting, and then time attack. But it'd be cool to see like other tuner cars sort of go up against each other in like an actual like heads up, you know, straight up, you know, circuit race. It'd be very, very cool. Although I imagine it'd be much more expensive because you gotta, you know, worry about repairs and contact with other vehicles and everything like that. There we go. And across the line. Yes. Beautiful. That's exactly what we needed. That is exactly what we needed. Very good. Very, very good. Alright. Now we just need, I think that's everything. I think we completed all the URL races for this stage. Nope, one more. Okay, let's take this one down then. We unlock the final URL race of the stage. This will probably be where big, you know, big sort of story beats happen. Maybe one can hope. Any cutscenes? Maybe? No? Probably not. Okay, that's fine. Right now it's just loading. It's taking a little while to load. Yeah, no cutscenes. Okay. We are starting right up in front though, which is very, very nice. So we can get a good lead without losing too much ground. Let's do it. Nice and easy through here. Gotta keep the car nice and planted. The little inline 4-cylinder 240SX. Keep the car nice and smooth through these corners. Yes, please. Oh, and it feels so good to drive this car. Very, very nice, very enjoyable. It is just a little bit oversteery though, I've noticed. Just a tiny bit. That is okay. Come on, full speed. Full speed. There we go. Oh, we are pulling ahead. On the runway. I love being able to hear the jet engines as you're going under them too. Really, really cool. Really, really good sound design in the black box era of Need for Speeds. I mean, pretty much most of Need for Speeds had some really, really good sound design. But they just constantly focus on improving it each and every game as well. So it just sounded better and better with each iteration. It's just really, really, really nice. Yo, Adachiku, welcome to the stream. We're completing the final URL race of the stream with our beautiful 240SX. You woke up super late. I know that feeling. Hopefully you're well rested at least. That's good. And hopefully you didn't miss anything. All the jet planes going over. Really, really cool. Very, very nice. Went to bed at 4 a.m. trying to fix Zoom. Woke up at 8 a.m. then woke up at 2 to 3. Oh gosh. Jeez. Well, hopefully you're at least able to get Zoom all fixed up and everything. I know trying to get tech issues resolved it's one of those things where you either stay up super late getting it fixed, or if you say I'll wait till morning, you stay up super late trying to diagnose it in your heads. And you diagnose it in your head, you're like, it could be this, or it could be that too. I wonder. But yeah, definitely is something that will keep you up at night. Oh yeah, I do hope you get it got it fixed though. Especially if you need to use that for like work or anything like that. Oh yeah, we're doing very, very well on this track. There isn't too many super tight corners. There's a lot of 3rd and 4th gear corners that are really, 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 really good for this 240SX. Well, I don't know. I was supposed to do a Zoom meeting, but oh well. Cut your stream, not too late. Hey, yeah, you managed to catch the last couple of races here. We're kind of winding down a little bit because I do need to get dinner in a bit, but we're going to be continuing until we complete stage 3. So this should be the final event of the stream. My maths are correct. You get to see a beautiful 240SX. We did a lot of racing in this thing. We got the unique engine upgrade, as well as the unique rims for this car, to really kind of improve the style, the visual star rating of the car. Very, very nice. Very, very pretty looking. I should be getting a stream schedule out somewhat soon, probably after dinner. I'll post it on the Discord and the channel, the channel community section of the channel as well. After dinner, once I get it made. This is a tournament. Stream is always well. Thank you. I do hope to do good do good streams and everything like that. Alright, again, starting up at the front, up against the Miata as the first two vehicles. Here we go. Full speed. Oh gosh, a little bit slidey there. Alright, we lost a lot of positions. Down in the 6th. Let's try to get back up in the first. Try to catch up to that Infinity G35. With the V6, the very powerful V6 engine in there. There we go. Back up into the lead. It's basically Nissan 1-2 though, with us and then the Infinity. The Infinity being the luxury brand of Nissan. Oh, nice and easy through these twisty bits. It feels almost like an autocross course or something like that, with it being on the airfield as well. Really, really fun, really enjoyable, this track. I enjoy the kind of tighter corners and the lack of traffic on some of these tracks. It just adds a bit more to the variety. Instead you're just trying to focus on getting your racing lines, your shift points, and everything just right to shave off time, as opposed to just driving at closer to 90 or 80% of your ability in order to kind of have a little bit of extra ready for if there's heavy traffic or any other surprises. This is pretty much entirely going as fast as you can around a tight closed circuit, and it's just very, very fun. There we go, nice and smooth. 2 to go. Alright, into all the 90-degree sharp corners. Down in a 3rd gear for most of these. Just barely clip the inside curbs each time. Use a bit of nitrous to get back up to speed on the back straight. We can really let the car's top end run wild. Speed! Whee! And the car, it sounds so good as well when you finally get more of the upgrades for it. Yeah, drifting as well is also very, very tricky in this game. You need a fairly high-powered rear-wheel drive car to drift well. But even then, I tried doing some of the Assetto Corsa drift mods for that. And let me tell you, drifting in like an actual racing sim is even trickier than trying to drift in some of the Need for Speed games. Very, very, very tricky. But it is a lot of fun though when you do get a good run going. Oh gosh, Dean is just behind us. Come on, gotta have a little bit more speed, just a little bit, as a treat, please. All right, final couple corners, heavy braking into the tight hairpin. Yes, yes. Final corner. Speed to the line. Yes, good. Very, very good. Very nice. All right, and that should be, if my maths are correct, that should be the final URL race. All right, save's been successful. Yeah, okay, we did unlock GG. Thank you. We did unlock the third or the 4th stage, which is nice. So we're probably gonna be ending the stream here since we kind of have a good breaking point. Very, very cool. All right, let's make sure we save the game and everything, and then let's see what all we have unlocked. This has probably been a lot. Thanks for the stream from what I see. You're welcome. Sorry about that. Sorry about you coming in super late. I do hope the next stream you're able to make it a bit earlier if you wanna watch, or if Thankfully, at least the VODs will still be available as well. Let's see. Let's see all of these. Yep, Full Harbor. And spoilers, there we go.
Nailed it. Great win.
Nice.
You're free from the last deal now, so get
Uh-huh.
out there and score another sponsor. Just make sure to keep winning.
Sweet. Alright, so we're probably going to be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And, it's just, if you enjoyed the stream, do be sure to like, subscribe. Let me know what I'm doing well in the comments below. If you didn't like the stream, do be sure to let me know what I'm doing poorly so I can fix that in the future. Regardless, so thank you all so much for watching. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time of day it is, I do hope it is a great time. And I do hope to see you all in the next stream. Until then, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.